What is up, soul peeps? Grace and peace, grand rising, good afternoon. It is all signs, reading for all signs in the sign of Taurus, which is one of my favorites. So let me just get us set up. Salute to the new subscribers and salute to the day ones. Thank you for being here. Make sure as you come in, hit that like button. Share this out to anyone that may be interested in hearing about their signs. Yes. One second. So, okie dokie. So I'm just setting up the cards really quickly. I am doing personal readings. However, my website is down. So for those that would like to get a reading, they can hit me up on Instagram. Okay. I know some of us don't have Instagram, but I will, the website's going to be down for a while. It's kind of like an indefinite thing, but please be aware of when I post. Oops, I just muted myself. I will be putting in the community section or the post section when the website, I have to basically start from scratch on my website, so it's going to take me a while. But if you are interested in getting a reading, you can just put in the comment section, interested in a reading. I don't know how else to convey, like the back end of things, because I technically just work with IG. I don't have any other outlets other than YouTube and IG that I do my communication with. So I'm really sorry if you wanted a reading and you can't get into the website. I really do apologize. Okay, so I think we got all the square bits out the way. Let's go into what has been going on lately. Again, disclaimer, I am not an astrologer, astronomer, medical professional, legal aid, or any of that. Just like to put my disclaimer out there because you may want to challenge what I'm saying and be like, well, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't, because I don't know it all, but I know some things. So in listening to some of the astrologers that I do follow, specifically Astrology Guy, he's on YouTube and on Instagram. His his name is Astrology Guy, or The Astrology Guy. Coding Astrology is another one. Coding, Coding, is another astrologer that I follow. He's on IG. I don't know if he has a YouTube page. So there's a few others, but those are just two to just give you some references if you want to go back and like hear about what the planet alignments, right? Because a lot of us are being affected by the planetary alignments, especially when there's like the big planets that are going into different signs, right? It does play a part on the collective. Now, today is the full moon in Scorpio. So just to put it out there, anytime we get like a full moon or a new moon, that energy can be felt 2 days before or 2 days after. We also had an eclipse, I believe, back in March. So the eclipse's energy lasts about 6 months, for better lack of terms, that that energy is still felt. So Scorpio is a water sign. It is a fixed sign. And, the fixed signs are kind of stubborn, but they also are worker bees, I like to call them. Like, they are the doers. They're the muscles. They get the job done. And so a full moon is releasing some of that and energy, some of that tension that's going on, right? Anytime we see a full moon, that's about endings so that a new cycle can begin, right? Sometimes it's a little hard, harsh, and depending on the sign that these moons are sitting in, the moon is sitting in its energy, some of us can feel the effects a little bit more than others, especially water signs, because you're empathic. Cancer is ruled by the moon, so Cancers are going to be feeling this energy. Pisces is going to be feeling this energy. Scorpio definitely is going to be feeling this energy. And any other fixed signs that are there, Leo, Aquarius, right? So also we have Uranus, which is sitting in, which just went into Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. Let me just get my book and I can go a little bit more into explaining certain things. I don't want to stay too long on these planets because, again, that's not my forte. So, but just so that we understand, we get a better understanding, overstanding of what is going on with the planets, right? What the energy is like. We also had the Schumann resonance, which marks the energy of the earth. Again, some people are highly affected by the barometric energy or the shifting of the earth, right? They may get headaches, they may feel lethargic, they may have a burst of energy, they may be a little depressed, right? However that energy is feeling for some, they may have like vivid dreams, they may be again restless or dealing with insomnia, right? Attention spans may not be so great. So the Schumann resonance picks that energy up as why some of us are like going bonkers, why our bodies may be twitching. Literally, you could be having twitching, like vibrations. I get a lot of vibrations in my root chakra, and come to find out, because I had to look that up, like what the heck? It's on my phone, right? But when I did my human design, that's a whole nother element to put in with knowing what your natal chart is, what your life path number is also knowing what your human design is. And that's a little more detailed because it targets organs in your body that correlates with the chakras. It's very deep, very deep. I just touched the surface. I haven't even gone deep diving. I know that I am a generator no, not a generator. I'm not a manifestor. I am a generator, aka alchemist. Makes a lot of sense. So I get the job done, right? I know how to definitely turn lemon into lemonade. That's what the generators do. They're the cogs in the wheel that keep the engine running and going and going. But like that engine going, the cogs moving, it can burn them out, right? So generators need to have that time to sit back, relax, reflect, heal, right? So anyway, the vibrations that I've been getting, and when I looked up the human design, my target areas are the root chakra, and specifically the spleen and the root chakra. So that has to do with fight or flight, has to do with emotions, intuitiveness, anger. So I'm getting this buzzing feeling and I'm like, what in the world? So I figured out that, that part there. So working on the root chakra, doing some grounding, doing some meditation that's specifically towards the root chakra, putting crystals down in the root chakra area, right? So that you can be in alignment. Because if it's buzzing, it's probably out of sync and it needs to be rewired, right? Our bodies are machines. We're not we're organic machines. We're not that stupid artificial bull crap that they want to keep enforcing on us. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but we solely do not rely on that. Okay, so Uranus is in Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is a sign of communication, right? It has to do with technology. So what is Uranus? It is one of those big planets, and it also has to do with manifesting. It can deal with some spirituality, but not necessarily. And it's in Gemini, so communication, social networks are a focus. Let me see here. Oh, this is talking about retrogrades. Okay. Let me just see something here. I mean, in a nutshell, like I just really don't want to dive too deep into the planet alignments and stuff like that, but I do want us to be aware that because Uranus is sitting in Gemini right now, it will be there for the next 7 years or so, or up until 2038, wherever, whatever, however that many years that is. But when people were going back in time to see where Uranus was before, it was back in the 40s, and then it was the 1776 or something like that. It was about Revolutionary War. It was about the World War II. It had to do with a lot of wars, one, two, changing, innovation, right? So it's not only just doom and gloom, but for the most part, there's a lot of this. You got to break down some systems so that new systems can be implemented, so that new systems can be, reborn. The regime is being changed. So there's this push and pull going on here that, resistance, as they say in Star Trek, I'm a Trekkie, resistance is futile. So to try to fight against this, you're going to be feeling a certain kind of way, right? And it's not like, okay, I'm going to settle and go with the program, but the program is continuing, right? And so either you get swept up in it or you move forward, basically. So that's what's going on, okay? So just, also we had an Aries stellium, which was last week. And Aries is the sign ruled by Mars, that it is the planet of war, for better lack of words, right? Anger, but also passion. Again, innovation, right? So we have to add the positive and the negatives to all these things so that we can get a pretty good outlook of what's to be, right? If we're just only focusing on, what's the negative side of it? What are we really going to be feeling? Like it gets us anxious. It gets us worried. And, we shouldn't be living in that, fear-based, right? We should be moving forward with this energy, cultivating it, capturing it, doing whatever we can, harnessing it, harvesting it, doing whatever we can to let it help us, right? Instead of it hindering us. Okay, so that's that with the planets. Now let's move forward into how I do the readings for those that are new and not aware of how I do the readings. I basically read for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. So why? Because we're not just our sun sign. So you're not just Taurus. Shout out to the Tauruses, my dear and near ones, especially my son, who is May 15th. Miss Sharon is a Taurus. And my beauty queen Raz girl, who just celebrated her solar return a couple of days ago, is a Taurus. I love Tauruses. King Corey, I love Tauruses. I love because they have this really like heartful, like they wear their sleeves on their heart, their heart on their sleeves rather. And it's like they'll do for others and continuously do it, and then they'll get burnt out because it's not being reciprocated. And it's unfortunate because these people are really good people. Now, just like everybody, on the flip side of things, you got people that are douchebags, but I'm just talking about the energy of Taurus. Like, my moon sign is in Taurus, so I'm a Cancer sun sign, Taurus moon, Aquarius rising, and a Leo Venus. So again, you're just not that only, right? So your moon sign I read for. So when I'm doing these messages, if it's not making sense for your sun sign, check out what the moon sign is, check out what your rising is, check out what the Venus is, and then incorporate all that together to get you a real good message. How do you find this out? How do you find your natal chart? Well, you can go online. You can type in free natal chart. I know Astrology Cafe is one. I have no affiliation with these people, but I'm just shouting them out. And you need to know the time you were born and the city you were born in. Some of us don't have that. If you don't know what the time is, just type in 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. It gives you a generic. What changes is just the moon, but everything else is pretty much the same, whatever else is in your chart, right? So the only thing would be different if you put in 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., the moon sign may shift. It's not really a big deal, but it is, because the moon has to deal with emotion. Venus has to do with love and money. Your rising is the protector. It's the personality, a persona that you put on to the public that, everybody sees. But the moon sign is your personal side, your private side, where everybody in the public doesn't get to see. It's your emotions. And your sun sign is ego. It is all encompassing. It does show your personality, but the rising kind of masks you in a way. So you may present off to be, like I said, I'm a rising Aquarius. So that's air energy, and it may seem a little aloof or, ghosting, right? But it is what it is. So I will be reading for that. Now I'm going to tap into the modalities. So when I say fixed sign, Taurus is a fixed sign. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And they are the stabilizers. As I said, I like to call them the muscles, and they get the shit done, for better lack of words. They're persistent, reliable, determined. Okay, all these beautiful words to describe the fixed energy, but they also can be a little stubborn, stuck in their ways. They are a little hard to budge. They need to sit and ponder with some things, especially an Aquarius, because that's air energy. That's, all in the mental. They need to sit and think about some stuff, right? The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Cardinals are the leaders of all, of all of the elements there. And they're the initiators. They push through and get things done. Or they push through. I'd like to say that the fixed signs help the cardinals get the job done. Sometimes the cardinals will start something and they may never finish it. Or, they got to circle the block again to, get stuff done. But they're the leaders. They are also determined. They get shit done, for better lack of words. Okay. They have the ability to start new endeavors, as I said. They are dynamic, ambitious, and driven, often setting trends and embracing change. And lastly, of the modalities is the mutable signs, which would be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. They are adaptable, they're flexible, they're versatile. They are the finishers. Now, I can see that. I can see that with the mutable signs, but maybe not all of the mutable signs. Like, I can see Sagittarius getting it done. Pisces, maybe, depending on the flow of things, but definitely Sagittarius will get the job done, right? So they are capable of just adjusting in changing circumstances and embracing transformation. Mutable are known for their resourcefulness, flexibility, and communicative skills. Okay, so Gemini, definitely for sure with the communication skills. Okay, so that's a summary of what I'm doing as far as the reading. So I'll start off with the earth signs, and in the earth signs, that would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I'm going according to the Gregorian calendar. Then we're going to be shifting to air sign. Gemini's the next birthday, Cancer, water, the next birthday, and then fire, Leo, the following birthday, and then etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick off with Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And here we go. So I'm putting up the sign there. All right, so we got Taurus cooking. Again, shout out to all the Tauruses that are celebrating their birthdays. You guys deserve the recognition. You really are kind of like the underdogs in some way. If people I don't know if people really acknowledge you like that. I really just don't. I hear a lot of, Geminis and Pisces and Cancer and Aquarius and Libra. But I mean, good for you, Taurus. Like, nobody's really talking about you like that. they're not really giving you a bad rap. Why? Because you guys are lovable. You guys are understanding. You like and love the finer things in life. Good taste, good food, good looking people, having quality things in your house. You might be a little miserly with your money sometimes, but rightfully so. You earned it. You want to keep it for yourself and not let it go unless you're spending it on yourself. Now, that would be the only negative thing I can see, Taurus. But other than that, you guys are cool in my book. As I said, you guys are in my top 5. All right, so Taurus, let's see what's cooking for you guys for your season, right? For your solar return. And today I'm going to be using it's an old deck, but it's new because I don't really use it. But it's called the Cosmic Tarot Cosmic Oracle deck. All right, so just try to, change it up, because Tauruses like to change things up too, even though they are routine and they like comfort. No, they can go for a little change here and there. All right, so you got commitment, Taurus. Things are getting serious. Earth sign, there it goes, clarifying you guys. Middle of the deck. So Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And then bottom of the deck is Gold Digger. Did I not just call you guys out? Not to say you guys are gold diggers, but being stingy, right? Being stingy with that money. They want your money being used. And so if you're holding back on your money, Taurus, rightfully so. Okay, commitment. I mean, it could be a couple of things. Commitment having to do with, obviously, with another person. Could be another earth sign like yourself, a Virgo or Capricorn, or even a Taurus. That might be pushing it, but with a Taurus, it will clarify here. But also, commitment with yourself, making a commitment, whatever it is, as far as, money, and because you're ruled by Venus, Taurus, so that has to do with money, right? The love of money, the love of other people's money. So you might be a gold digger, Taurus. Let me find out you're a gold digger, Taurus. Let me find out. So this is a new year for you guys, and you can right the wrong and change gears however you want, right? It's not being in that commitment. Maybe somebody is trying to expunge your money or just using you for your money because you are a good-hearted person. You will give, almost the last bit of dollars. You wouldn't really give the last dollar, but you'd give them something that, hey, definitely if I have it, you'll get it, right? So changing that up a little bit, maybe, being a little more reserved or a little resourceful is what I'm getting. But let's clarify, what is this commitment here? And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. Haven't used this in a while, but nonetheless, we're rotating. I got to rotate my little cards out here and there. Also, I'm going to be reading the romance as well for every sign. So you'll get to hear about your romances, even if you don't want to hear it or you're not in a committed relationship. All right. So what is this commitment here? Somebody could be committed to being a gold digger with you. They just, they like the money, they see dollar signs with you, Taurus. And so as this full moon in Scorpio, which is your sister sign, is here, some things may have to end. Okay. Some things may have to end. Oh, we'll see. What is this commitment? And if you're just starting out in a relationship, like, just be mindful about how you're conducting. I know you want to spread love. And that means, like, buying nice things for your person. But here we're going to have to just take some steps back, just mental steps, and reevaluate, like, assessing, is this person really liking me for me, or do they like because I shower them with this, with love, materialistically, right? Okay. What is this? Okay. So the Ten of Swords here. Yeah, this, Anytime we see the swords, we know that it's and anytime we see tens, that's an ending. All right, so you got the 10 of swords here. That's air energy. Could be an air sign that you're dealing with. But you're done. You've had your, like I said, for some, you've had your turn. You had your time, rather. Not looking back, this person or people have, run you through the ringer, taking your resources and just using them up, right? Not helping you, not giving back. So it's time to just move forward. Okay. Air sign, Gemini is coming up. So, maybe in Gemini season, this is where you'll finally get the cojones to be like, you know what, I'm out. All right. You also have the 7 of swords and the hermit card here. So Virgo energy, air energy, right in the middle of the deck. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of cups. This could be friends and family as well. Okay. You doing a lot for others, for friends, for family, for your significant loved one that, that's it. Like, when is enough? Especially this is your season, right? So there's nothing wrong with you being a little selfish and taking the high road, going doing what you need to do, going doing what you want to do for the sake of it's your birthday. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what else is here. 10 of Swords. And then the 9 of Pentacles, just clarifying this 10 of Swords, okay? I call it the Sasha Fierce because you don't want need for anything, for anyone. This is earth energy, okay? This is you, Taurus. Middle of the deck is the moon, and bottom of the deck is the Temperance card here. So, pouring back into yourself, you seeing things for what it is. This full moon is going to be shining light on any type of secret, any type of hidden information. It's coming to light. Okay, Taurus. So let's move on to your romance. And I'm using the Angel romance deck. 9 of Pentacles also, or the 9 of Coins, not only has to do with money, but also being grounded, being mature, being stable, substantial, right? As we're moving away and walking away and leaving things behind. Maybe it's an idea also, an idea of what you think a commitment is and what it really is, right? Social media has us fantasizing of the idea of things, of idea of relationships when it's not real. You got to go through some pain and heartache. The 10 of Swords. You got to go through some things and let it go, mentally, physically. It may be an emotional, abusive relationship, right? So we're not going to be staying stuck in that. So finding our way to get out, doing what we need to do, finding our resources and moving forward. That little nest egg that's been sitting and saving up, this is your opportunity. Okay. So let's see what's going on in the romance department. Because, for some, this is leaving some things behind, people, places, or things. And then for others, this is just, doing a review or an evaluation on a relationship. Okay, so you have 2 cards that came out. We'll take it because it's your birthday season. You got physical contact in reverse. And then you have soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. But again, as I just mentioned, some of us have a delusion of what a soulmate is. We're hearing these terms being thrown out. We're falling in love with the idea of, instead of falling in love with the person for their flaws and everything, right? Taurus, you're not going to be able to always go and have a nice fancy meal and take this person out and wine and dine them. And that's probably what it is. They're used to that stuff. Gold digger. They probably never been treated that way. Yeah, moving right underneath that. And then date night. Exactly. They've never been treated this way. So, having this one-on-one with yourself of, does this person really like me for me, or are they just around me because of my money, because how I treat them, So you got energy vampires that will suck the life force out of you because you're always giving to them, but you're giving to them on an almost unconditional love. I wouldn't even say it's conditional, but you're giving to them on the strength of you really care for this person. And this person all along in the hindsight behind you is a user, right? Physical connection right here in reverse. It's like they like the materialistic things about you. We got fearless love, middle of the deck, and bottom of the deck is bonding. Like, no, I feel like you might be coming to your senses on where it's like, I don't know, this person is not really, I feel like they like me for what I can give to them, the attention that I give, but I'm not getting that in return. And I really like them. You know, you may have an idea that this is a soulmate type relationship. Okay, what else? Clarify soulmate. I get it, Taurus, because you have a big heart. You love big. So we got boat here in reverse. It says receiving what you need, moving on, closure issues, progression, and it's in reverse. So you got to have this like pep talk with yourself and really get real, right? You guys are grounded. You're the earth signs. So, you know, not getting too caught up in ideas of things, but the realistic, you know, the realism of it. You got a abundance here in reverse, right? Somebody's just probably just really trying to take your resources, take your money, take your, you know, your time, your affection, what you can give to them, you know, like we got heartbroken here in reverse. Yeah, you definitely feel a heartbreak, you know, if you got to leave and you're under the oppression that, you know, this is somebody who you thought you could build with. But I don't know, Taurus, if you want to thug it out, fine. But know that you would need to really sit with yourself and really thoroughly think things through. Okay. That's what I have for you for your birthday season, Taurus. Good luck. All right, let's move on to Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. That is mutable. Shout out to my master teacher, my mama. Virgo is, you know, that energy of I would say also artistic, like Pisces, because that's their sister sign. You know, Michael Jackson. Let me just ring my bell a little bit for a second. Side note, I went to go see the Michael movie, and I went in with no expectations other than wanting to see how his nephew would, you know, fill his shoes, and were the scenes true to its part. So that was the only thing that I was like looking for. Like I really wanted to see how he's going to execute the thriller move, right? And there were other things in there, like the Pepsi. I wanted to see how that was going to be, you know, played. I was like really worried because I was like, that hurt my heart living during that time and seeing it. So, and I'm not going to, you know, go into details about it, but, you know, on a spiritual aspect, I see a couple of people tapping into Michael, you know, wanting to dissect his chart, go into his spirituality. We know that he was religious, right? But he was very, you know, like beyond his scope of just being a physical person. And it, in some parts, in some scenes of the movie, I kid you not, I can see Michael being metamorphosing into Jafar Jackson, like the hits, the dance moves, the way he was hitting it, you know, like the way Michael did it, it was like, whoa. I was up there clapping, singing. I cried a few parts in some scenes, but we, you know, understand that Michael, his music, even to this very day, especially now after this movie is out, that there are going to be children that are going to be babies that are listening, in the womb, listening to this man's voice, to his melody, and you can't stop. Like it's like you hear a song and you're just like, you want to get up and dance, especially if it's one of those nice fast songs, that you would hear like at a party or something. His love songs, like it puts you back in this romance and love, right? So Virgo has that. Virgo has those potentials. Virgo also is, detail oriented. So they definitely narrow in on things and the scope of things that other people. That's why I was like, ooh, I want to see. My Mars is in Virgo, so I was definitely like, I wanted to see the passion. I wanted to see how Jafar was going to really execute his uncle's moves, and I'm sitting at my seat like, he did it. I was so excited. So that's Virgo. Okay, that's Virgo for you. And they're mutable, so they, like I said, go with the flow of things. Okay. All right, so let's see what's cooking for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We got there. There we go. Okay, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right. Ooh, you got Let It Go. Butterflies. That's one of Michael's songs too on his Invincible. You give me butterflies inside. So make room for the new beginning. It's on its way to you. Okay. As we said, metamorphosing, right? Transformation. That's what the butterflies do. They go into their cocoon, chrysalis, and then they come out as this beautiful, right, caterpillar, and then they come out as this beautiful butterfly with all these different colors on them. And there's this change here. So middle of the deck is divorce, experiencing a breakup. What is going on with the earth signs? And then we got move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time. It is over. Okay, earth signs. Just gotta let it go. People, places, and things. You could be dealing with a Taurus, because I just saw Taurus dealing with an earth sign. So Virgo, there you go. So if you're dealing with that, you guys know what you got to do. Sometimes it isn't working out. Like, we try to thug it out as best as possible, because we take vows, those that I'm speaking to that are married, and we want to fulfill that obligation. That is our job, that is our duty. We respond to that vow that says, in sickness and health, till death do us part. Some of us really take those vows very seriously, and we want to go through it all to that point, right? Be the ripe old age of 70, 80, 90 with our husband or wife. And unfortunately, it doesn't get to that point. Could be the idea of people. That's really what it is. Sometimes we fall in love with the idea of the person, and some sidestep their flaws, their red flags. You were given green and yellow, but when the red flags come in, we're almost a little too deep in. So we'll kind of excuse these behaviors, right? But then it's like, when is enough is enough? So, Virgo, taking that step, like Diana Ross said, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Moving on, letting go of ideas of the person. If you can't and you don't want to move on physically from this person, then letting go of the idea of what, marriage is. Forget about what you see on Hallmark. Forget about what you see on social media. What is it like with you and this person? Is this person showing up when I'm really going through some things, down and out? I've lost my job. My health is compromised. We got newborn babies in the house. Like, is this person showing up in those times? You know, there's a death in the family. You just lost your father. You lost your mother. You lost your grandmother. You lost, you know, are they showing up? That's when it counts. Not while you're sexing it up in between the sheets. Not when you're hanging out and going to see Michael or going on a dinner date. No, when does it count? Are they there when it really matters? All right. So let's clarify, what is this let go, Virgo? And, again, we're in a full moon. So that's about an ending. It's in Scorpio. Scorpio's death. It's about transformation. So the Fool card, okay, Aquarius energy. That's starting from the scratch, starting all over, or new beginnings. Okay, you got the Ace of Wands here, middle of the deck, fire energy. Again, more new beginnings. The Four of Pentacles, that's earth sign, that's you showing up here, protecting your energy, protecting your peace, protecting your money, protecting your assets, right? Maybe being a little miser right now, but if you're moving on, you got to have this money, you got to have your resources with you. So you need to have, your coin purse right there. Okay, we got Two of Wands right underneath that. That's making some decisions, some executive decisions, where you're going to go, travel. Yeah. And again, letting go of some ideas of what you have for yourself or what you have for others, right? Moving away from that. What you saw as your parents as a couple, right? It's not you. So moving away from that idea, okay? Moving on and letting go of the past and free falling, letting the chips fall where they may, and going on about your business. All right, so let's go into the love department, Virgo, and see what's cooking there. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. We got bonding. Okay, that bonding showed up again. It says here, as you get to know each other, you discover many things in common. See, this is the theme right now for you, Earth. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Capricorn. But rendezvous, a private getaway for the two is calling you, middle of the deck. And bottom of the deck is holiday. I don't know, maybe you guys do need a little time away, but again, this is what I was just saying. It matters when the person shows up in some real life situations. It's not just going on a holiday and being cutesy and whatnot and posting for Instagram and all this dumb shit. Does this person show up for you when you need them the most? Are they bonding with you when you are feeling a certain kind of way about yourself? You may have some mental issues. Is this person sitting there with you, helping you get through these dark times? Right? It's not just always when the sun is out. It should be thunderstorms, hurricanes, tsunamis. Is this person going to be there holding your hand? That's when it matters. Okay? Clarify this bonding. Hammer. So again, rebuilding, working on it, persistence. Maybe you do need to have a little rendezvous away, a little vacation time to clear the air and get some things out, and maybe away from, home setting, and have a different environment. Okay. You got Heart of Cards in reverse. And then bottom of the deck is the clock here in reverse. So yeah, time is ticking, but time stands still for certain things. And if this is requiring you to reevaluate, then so be it. If it's also or requiring you to move on, let go, then so be it. It might not be a physical let go. This could be an emotional let go. This could be a emotional letting go, right? That you like the person or you love the person for who they are in all of their glory, good, bad, ugly, right? That's the relationship, and building it up to where, okay, yes, physical, that's inevitable, but we need to have more of this, grounded relationship, a spiritual relationship, right? That soulmate connection. So Taurus, again, you could be dealing with a Virgo or Taurus. Virgo, you could be dealing with a Taurus or an Aquarius, right? That is a mix right there. But anyway, that's your message, Virgo. Okay, that's your message. So let's move on to Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Capricorn is the cardinal of the earth signs. They're the goats. They're ruled by Saturn. So that's patriarch, father figure, ruler, discipliner, right? Discipliner. Yes. They could be a little rough around the edges, but also good with money, like Taurus. They know how to get a job, save that money. They also could be a little stingy, so rightfully so. What else? But they're good people, good-hearted people as well. Like Taurus, they not as they're conditional. I'll say that some. Whereas Taurus is a little more open and willing to be there and give. Capricorn it's conditional. It's like, what can you do for me that I'll then do for you, kind of thing. Just an observation and experience. That's all. All right, so Capricorn, let's see what's cooking for you guys in Taurus season, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's the message here for Capricorn? Okay, that's too many. What do we have for Capricorn? Capricorn's like, oh, you just talked all this smack about me, Foxy, and then you want to tell me a message? You want me to talk? Okay, you got moving on to. So the earth signs, I guess you guys got to keep it pushing. Is the name of the game for you during Taurus season. All right, it says move on. Someone is unavailable. A waste of time. It is over. Sexuality, middle of the deck, and intuition. So this could be somebody that might have cheated on you, where rightfully so you feel like, hey, I gotta go. I can't be dealing with this infidelity business. It says someone is still trying to figure out themselves. Somebody might be confused about their sexuality. I don't know. Okay. The red flags you ignore now will come back to bite you later. Didn't I say that though before? For Taurus? For Virgo rather. I don't know, but let's clarify. When we see the yellow flags, that's the yield, that's the caution sign. Slippery when wet. Yield, because something's going on here. You're not taking into consideration your intuition. You're not getting you're ignoring your spidey senses. Underneath that is water sign here. So it could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio that you're dealing with. We got intimacy underneath that, sexual chemistry, reminiscing. So I don't know. There could be some kind of there may be lack of sex or intimacy, or there's just like this confusion. Somebody doesn't really know. I don't know. I don't know, Capricorn. Maybe, talk to a sex therapist, because this isn't the place. This isn't it. But you gotta go into those places and talk to somebody, then do it. What is this? Move on. Could be dealing with a earth sign, like I said too. Okay, so we got the high priestess here. Yeah, intuition, clarifying this, move on. Okay, this is Pisces energy, but this is also intuitiveness. This is that, things that are unseen, the hidden knowledge, the occult knowledge, that, I don't know, like we glaze over the warning signs there, or the subtle things that are make you like, oh, now I understand, now I see why, right? Middle of the deck is the Knight of Wands, fire energy here, and Nine of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, earth energy. This is passion. Like you could be a water sign, as I said, so Pisces specifically. Rumor has it on the street that Capricorn has a weird sexual thing too, and Pisces can be a little like under the influence of some sexual stuff. Like they're quiet, they're not the overt, flirtatious ones. They can be, but they're like shy in some ways, right? So again, I probably would suggest a sex therapist or some type of therapy, maybe tantric books, to pick up, to read with your partner. I don't know. Just trying to throw a line here for you, Capricorn. What is this high priestess here? Because somebody might be, could be that somebody's more experienced in the sex department than the other one is, and somebody, Pisces are known for addictions, and sex addictions is one of them. Gambling, drugs, alcohol. Where Capricorn's a little more reserved, and yeah, they'll get into their little kinks. They got kinks, but I don't know. There could be something. There is something off here, but listen. I don't want to dive too deep into it. We got to keep it pushing. Pisces is mutable, so they're very fluid. They go with the flow of things. Somebody questioning their sexuality, somebody might want to try having sex, the third party type thing, and threesome. What is going on here? And that could have been the red flag. Like if somebody's discussing these type of things with you, like off the bat, watch out for that person, because they want to buy anything, and you're like, I have my little kinks and stuff, but what you trying to get me into? Move on. Do not bypass these warning signs. Especially if you just started talking to this person and they're talking all this other stuff to you. It's like, wait a minute, I don't, no, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to want to try it with you and try it with somebody else and you. If you're not into that kind of stuff, it's like, gotta keep it pushing. All right, yeah, Page of Cups. This is definitely a Pisces that you're dealing with. Somebody who's maybe immature, or this is a younger person, Capricorn. I hope you're not talking to people too young. All right, doing that R. Kelly-ish, because R. Kelly's a Capricorn. But Pisces is that messenger. We got the Knight of Swords here, middle of the deck. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. Options. Listen, Capricorn, we're about to cut this reading, because what? yeah, I don't know if this is you that wants to try some stuff, or this is the other person that wants to, you're dealing with them, or you're just starting to talk to them, whatever, it's your business. But don't forget the signs that are there. Okay, that's all. All right, let's move into the romance department. Because this person, either them or you, have options. There's delusion here. There's this fantasy. Somebody wants to try out their kinks with you, their fantasies with you, and you may just be the person that's not like that, or you haven't been experienced. You haven't been around that type of lifestyle or environment. So you're like, nah, why would I try that shit? That doesn't sound right. What? While somebody else is a little more fluid in their sexuality. That's why it's like somebody's questioning their sexuality. Like Capricorn, you could be like, yo, am I, batting for the same team? Like, why is this person coming on to me like that? Like, am I presenting that? And no, this person just has these little fetishes, fantasies that this is them. Okay, all right. Enough of that. I'm getting hot. Like, literally sweating. Okay. What is this? Rekindle some. Okay. Let's get one card up. All right, so we got rekindle here. Okay, this could be a blast from the past, an old flame returns. And yeah, so definitely they know you might not be on that time anymore, Capricorn, and they're like, I'm gonna try my luck because we had a good thing going on, and this is more sexual than anything. But whatever, we got very soon here in reverse. Middle of the deck, bottom of the deck is best friend. So this could be somebody you were really close with. This could have been somebody, like your experimenting partner from back in the days, maybe teenage years, maybe high school years, college years, young adult years, that they want to play around, fool around, rekindle, get this stuff back. And you're just like, no, I'm not. So it says here, clarifying this rekindle, it says, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. So bottom of the deck is the Phoenix. So yeah, you are like, listen, I'm not going backwards. It's time to move on from all that, right? I'm not going backwards. And you might have thought like you could probably rekindle something with this person because it's familiar and because, it's someone you dated or someone, you were casually intimate with. But you're holding out. You're like, listen, that was then, that was in the past. The maturity, I've matured, right? With this Page of Cups here, it could be somebody who's, emotionally immature, emotionally and somewhat mentally immature, or they were younger than you. But again, this is like something from the past, someone from the past, and you've evolved, Capricorn, or you've just gotten older and you're like, I don't have time for all that stuff. Like, I want something where I can lock down and, have all my little whatevers with this person instead of like testing the waters with every, Tom, Dick, and Harry, Sally, Susie, and Mary. Okay. It's moving on. All right, Capricorn, that is your message. Woo. That is your message for Taurus season. Getting some help maybe, or, basically letting them know, like, listen, hey, you know what? That was then. This is now, and I'm not about that lifestyle anymore. Sorry. It was fun. It was fun. It was really fun. Boy, was it fun. But I can't do that again. Not with you're not filling me in those places that I need to be, fulfilled in. Get about sex. First time, you guys have some thinking to do, some reevaluations, some changing a new leaf. All right, especially Taurus and Capricorn. Right, so Taurus is going to give us this energy of getting the job done and moving forward, right? Being grounded. So yeah, we'll use Taurus's energy as the muscle and getting some stuff done. Okay. So earth signs, you have, as I speak, a change in the wind. 12 breaking down to 3. A change in the wind. Middle of the deck is community. That's people, spiritual or physical. And then you got mending, bottom of the deck. So, for those that want to mend their relationship, by all means, do what you got to do what you want to do. But for others, it's moving forward, moving on. The nostalgia of some things. Hey, it's great, but it's over. The ship has sailed. I got to move on with it. Right? As I stated earlier with Uranus and Gemini, it's not so much that, we're following the norms or what have you, but we don't want to get swept up in shit either. Like, we want to be able to function and move forward with certain ideologies and certain, mores and stuff of that nature. But at the same time, like, we also want to have our own individuality and think for ourselves and, do things for ourselves that are not necessarily, or, going against the grain, if you will. So earth signs, it's a change in the wind. 3 also is about working together, but it's also harmonious. That number brings this harmony. So having this harmony within yourself first and foremost, right? Not caving into somebody's whim, or, them throwing themselves at you, or, you're sticking around for the sake of, because, no, if they're using you for your money, they're using you for your time, they're using you for sex. These are all those red flags that we got to let go. Okay. We got to sacrifice some things here for the sake of yourself. Okay. All right. So that was that for the earth signs. Let's move forward to the air signs, starting with Gemini. Right? Gemini's next. Yes. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus for Gemini. Gemini, I hope you're not as spicy as the earth signs, but air signs. Jeez. So Gemini is a mutable sign. As I stated earlier in the reading, these signs go with the flow of things. They're air energy, so they're very analytical. They're thought-provoking. Gemini is the twins of the zodiac. So, you get one person saying something and then that same person saying something else. It doesn't match their actions. And you're like, what did they just say? So, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me just So Ronan's in the building. Oh, my beauty queen is here. Happy solar return, beauty queen. Raz girl's in the building. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I was going in my flow of things here. But salute to my beauty queen. It's one of the day oneers. So, okay, let's see for Gemini what we have going on here. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Okay. Gemini. As I pick this card up, you got sexuality. Middle of the deck is Mercury retrograde, ruled by Gemini. Bottom of the deck is pregnancy. Someone is expecting. Okay. All right. Your card is sexuality, Gemini. Yes, Gemini can definitely, they got the gift of gab, if you will. that can, they're smooth operators. So be careful if you are a Gemini or period, Gemini, be careful, because somebody, if you're not, there could be this pregnancy coming in, right? Underneath that, we got divorce and date night. Geez, Gemini, sounding like earth signs all over again. What is going on? Gemini, you could be dealing with an earth sign. I think you could be dealing with, who was the other pair? Taurus. Oh, and I know about that dynamic. All right, so let's see. What is the sexuality here? Says someone's still figuring themselves out, but that's not what I'm getting here. Okay, your card to clarify the sexuality is the Two of Pentacles. So, Gemini, you are dealing with a Taurus. It's Earth sign here. Middle of the deck is the Moon, Pisces, Cancer. Also, we're in a full moon, Scorpio, and then we got the Ace of Cups here, bottom of the deck. And then the Lover's card right underneath that. Okay, so Gemini, love is in the air for you. Be careful. You're not wanting to have children at the moment. You just know that it could definitely be on the horizon here. The Two of Pentacles is also about making some decisions. Okay, so on a serious note, it could be, someone's not wanting to have that experience at the moment and may have to do some things to prevent that from happening, right? You guys read between the lines. But this could, this is a child being brought in of pure love, okay? Because look, the Ace of Cups, she's holding a heart with the cup, and the mom has the heart on her belly. Okay, so it's almost destined. Even if you guys don't make it work for whatever reason, the Lovers is the pure divine counterpart in the tarot card. Okay, it's also in the sign of Gemini. So it's like, I wasn't prepared to have this baby, but this baby's bigger than you guys. Okay, it's almost like breaking some cycles, generational curses, if you will. Ace of Cups is new love. It's also divine love. Anytime we see the aces, that's a new beginning, but that's also Source Most High's gift to us. Okay. I love it. I'm speechless. Like, this is one of these, like, if parents don't work out, it's like this child is meant to be here regardless. This baby is a gift to both sides of the parents, mother and father, but specifically mother, like she's breaking some cycles in the family. So this could be a Gemini woman that's dealing with a earth sign or a water sign, or this is Gemini man that has an earth sign woman or a water sign woman. What's underneath that? Date night and then cycles. Yeah, it's a cycle. So while you may feel like, we may need to break up, we may need to end this, somebody getting cold feet because listen, it happened to me. Okay, with my firstborn. It was a Taurus at that. Didn't want to take responsibility. I understand. We're 15 years old. Who wants to be a mother and a father at 15? However, I made the conscious decision at 15 going on 16 that I am going to keep this baby. Why? Because I just did a sexual, I just had sex. And that's an adult act. Like, let's be for real, right? No 12, 14, 15, 13-year-old should really be having sex. But it happens. And so I took on the responsibility of saying, you know what? There's a reason why. And I knew it was God. And I knew God was like, no, you're going to sit your little ass down because you're moving too fast. And I was with the boy. We were dating for like 5 months. And right as we had a date night, boom, my baby came along. She's going to be 34 this year. So cycles, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. It is fated for this baby to be here. And who knows, it can bring the relationship together or it could just separate you two. But the baby is supposed to be here. Okay. All right. So let's clarify a little bit more with this Two of Pentacles here. This could be twins. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but there's that decision that needs to be made. The Queen of Wands here. Okay, clarifying this Two of Pentacles. That's fire energy. That's mother. Okay, she also represents maturity, but mature sexuality. Okay, so again, and even if you're not a young teenage mother, you could be a young mother, or you can be a woman of a certain age that this could be your first child and you're like 35 or 40 or even 45 now, because women are having babies at that age, where this is, what am I going to do? This is, so overwhelming. A 35-year-old and a 45-year-old scared for the first time of having a baby is just like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old for the first time having a baby. Yes, you're just a little more mature. You may be financially able to, but it's still a scary experience nonetheless, right? Middle of the deck is the Seven of Cups, and then Three of Wands, bottom of the deck. So more fire energy. Your ships are coming in. This is fated. I'm sorry, Gemini. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This baby is a gift to you and to the family, to both sides. And even if one side doesn't participate and never participates ever in the 34 years, this baby is supposed to be here. Okay. Let's move on to your romance department, Gemini. You have to understand the assignment, and it's bigger than you. You just got to be mature enough to understand that. And that's what I'm saying. You could be 35, 45 years old and may not be as mature as a 15-year-old that said, you know what, I'm going to keep my baby. So it doesn't matter. The age, like they always say, age ain't nothing but a number, right? You just have the maturity and mentality. I didn't know how I was going to be able to do it, but thank God, by the grace of God, I was able to have my family back me up after they kicked me out the house and put me in a group home. They was like, we can't get rid of our baby. Ugh. So, it is what it is, man. These things happen. Let me go back. Where is Gemini? Okay. So you have here time apart, a time of separation. Okay. That, like I said, sometimes a pregnancy, especially an unplanned pregnancy, can take some people apart. Somebody may need time apart to reevaluate. This is a new turning point here. We got middle of the deck reaching out in reverse. Somebody may not want to, connect here. And then we got release X. So now this could be that someone's in the service, all right, and they're on leave, and you know, they come back from leave, and you guys are hot and heavy, yes, a pregnancy can be bound to happen. And so if this woman is now, you know, or she could be, take it however, whichever way it's fitting for you guys. It could be to she's in the service or he's in the service, right? Or even if not working in the military, they could be like fire department or, you know, police department, where it's somebody that's on call almost all the time, right? And the woman feels like, geez, I'm by myself here. Like, how am I really going to be able to take care, you know, of this baby like that, right? So this a lot of thinking to do there, Gemini. Okay, what is this time? Paradise and twin flames here. So we got paradise, happiness, joy, enjoying each other, middle of not middle of the deck, in reverse. And then you have twin flames here. So this could be twins, and that's overwhelming alone. Let alone a pregnancy. Just to hear about a pregnancy is like, you're happy. All the emotions come through. You're happy. You're scared. You're worried. You're excited, right? But then to find out that, oh my goodness, there could be twins. And disclaimer, not a medical professional, but if this is an older woman that happens to be pregnant, she may be considered high risk because of the age. So just, you know, not too much stress, not to exert yourself so much. But yeah, this definitely could be twins here with this twin flame. All right. Sun and the moon. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Grim Reaper. The relationship is over, no second chances. Grow and transform in your life. I don't really get that. It can be. It can go either way, guys. 50-50, Gemini. But this goes back to what I just said about the pregnancy. Like, you want to really take care of your body. If this is you, Gemini, that's a woman, definitely want to, and you're of a certain age, you know, again, not trying to give medical advice, but, you know, just be aware of, you know, exertion and, you know, mental health, not getting too, you know, anxious, you know, all those things that can cause maybe a spontaneous miscarriage, right? Because it's not one baby, it's two babies, but they are destined to be here. Okay, that's what I have for you, Gemini. All right, so let's move on to Libra. Okay, and so yes, Libras don't like, some Libras don't like to hear this, but this is not me saying this. This is not me coming out to bash Libras, but word on the street is Libras is very flirtatious. They, you know, they're overt. They're on Front Street. They don't hide it. They like something, they say something. That's it. Point blank, period. Own that shit, Libra. That's what it is. Now, if you feel like it's low vibrational, then that's all on you. But, you know, you feel like it's lighthearted and carefree, then that's on you. Okay. But it's just known out there that Libras are, you know, they out there. And Libras also happens to be one of my favorite signs as well. The 5. The top number 1 is Pisces, always. And then everybody else is interchangeable. Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. Those are my favorite signs. All right, so Libra, let's see what's going on for you guys in Taurus season. What do we have cooking here? Libra is the cardinal of the air sign, so they can be a little, you know, the cardinal signs and the fixed signs can both be stubborn in their own ways. Um, so yeah, Libra, Cancer, they can be a little hard-headed, definitely. But they're the leaders, they get things done, they, pave the way of some things, right, that they may or may not necessarily fulfill through. And that's just my opinion in regards to like cardinal signs. Again, I feel like the ones to wrap up everything is the fixed signs. Mutable will get it done, but I mean, like, fixed signs will, especially Tauruses, in my humble opinion, are the ones that will like end off. Like if Cancer is the cardinal and they usher in something and it needs to be done, Taurus is going to be right behind, making sure that job is done. Okay, so that's just how I feel about like with the cardinals and the fixed signs. So they also, Libras also represent the scales. So justice, truth. They also, air signs there. That's that thinking. They think a lot. Uh, Up there in the clouds, airheaded ish. But have a lot of ideas. They can be diplomatic, right? Because that's that justice. So they're also ruled by Venus, so love. Um, that's why it's not to say Libras are hoes and whatnot, but they like pleasingly looking people, so they're going to like try to shoot their shot. Because they're ruled by Venus, and they like nice things, materialistic things. They like to have a nice, comfy home because they are ruled by Venus. Okay. Also, money. They're good with money, good with calculating. They don't spend beyond their means. Sort of like how Taurus is. All right, so you got fire sign here, Libra. Don't know what that's all about, but we'll figure it out. Middle of the deck is distance. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. So this could be regarding a relationship. And bottom of the deck is caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself. Underneath that, we got love spell. Ooh, what is going on? So you could be dealing with a fire sign here, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, which are Aries is a cardinal, Leo is a fixed, Sagittarius is mutable. So bottom of the deck is caution here. So, if you're feeling distant from this person, I feel like this is more just in the head, but you are like, there's like spidey senses tingling, where the earth signs was having a hard time with their spidey senses, specifically Taurus and Capricorn. You, on the other hand, because you are the air signs, are well aware of the signs. Okay. You are at the yellow, yield, caution, slippery when wet. That's where you're at. All right. Slow down. Okay. Let's confirm here. Let's rather clarify what did this fire sign energy mean here. You could have these placements in your chart in your big three, your sun, moon, and your rising. Okay. Where it's, during Taurus season, it's having you to tap into this energy. You might need a little passion, a little flame, fire in that belly to get you to do something, right? As I said, The fixed signs can be a little stubborn. Oh, excuse me, the cardinal sign. So, what is this fire here? Fire signs. Okay, so you got the King of Swords here. So you showed up in your reading with this fire sign. The King of Swords is diplomatic, father figure, patriarch. We got the Queen of Cups here, middle of the deck, and bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords. So could be dealing with a water sign, specifically Cancer. Or they're like a cusp Cancer, Leo. Okay. Let's clarify, because it's you, Libra, that's like very distant into your head about the situation or the person or people. The Nine of Swords has to do with, grief, anxiety, depression, having a hard time sleeping. And that's, you guys are the air signs. So, you're always in your head about things. So you just probably a lot in your head about the people that you deal with or someone very close to you. And you're aware of this. You're not glazing over the warning signs. You're really like, this is not adding up. Somebody could be love bombing you with that love spell underneath there. You've been bewitched. So, you're just like, look, it don't add up the way you're acting towards me, and something's going on here. We're going to figure it out. Okay, the King of Swords also is very mature, grounded as well. Been through some things. So they're like, I'm not playing these type of little love games that you want to play. I've had my fair share of heartache, right? Three of Swords right underneath that. I'm over that. Some of you Libras could be a divorcee, and not going through the games, not going for the games. You're just, sitting there watching and just being cautious. The Knight of Wands. So I think there's passion here. Somebody, excuse me. Somebody may have a lot of passion for you, but you're just sitting there cautiously, evaluating things at the moment. It could be that you're overthinking it, because you're just like, this person's coming on a little too strong, but they may have a lot of fire in their chart. Like I said, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Knight of Wands here. This person has a lot of passion for you, physically, emotionally. They want to move close. They want to move, where it says, you guys are at a distance. They may be at a distance physically, but this also could be a mental distance where they want to keep, they want to get closer to you, Libra, but you're just kind of like standoffish. You're just sitting back like, I don't know. Their persistency may be throwing you off. It maybe it is a turn off, right? Or you just never had that type of pressure that is just like, whoa, what is this all about, right? Because if you've been out of the loop with the dating game and you've been like single for a long while, or you've been divorced for a long while, somebody's coming in with this intensity and you're just like, what? Right? And then bottom of the deck, middle of the deck here is the Nine of Cups. And then we got the Knight of Pentacles here. So yeah, they're really attracted to you, Libra. They're emotionally, they really want to get to know you a little better. They feel like you are standoffish. I don't know what it is that you're, like I said, you could be just apprehensive because this is something new, and this person is, bringing on the heat. right? As fire signs, they're bringing it to you, and you might be meeting your match, where you could have been the intense person, right? And coming out and talking to somebody and have no problems with just like, oh, I like the way, I like that look on you, or I like this, or whatever the case may be, right? This person's bringing that heat right back to you, and you're just like, whoa, sitting there stuck, like, okay, yeah, you just met your match. That's all. Don't get shooketh now, Libra. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself with me. That's all. All right, let's go ahead into the romance department and see what that's all about, because it is cooking. It is cooking with gas. Passion as I open up the deck. Passion. So yeah, somebody has this passion for you. They burn that midnight oil for you. They want to take it down. I really want to take it down. Chris Brown. So I'm just the messenger. These are the songs that are popping in my head, man. All right, so let's see what's going on here. You may be a little older, so this person could be a little younger than you, and that's that also like intensity, because you're like set in your ways and like not doing the things you used to do, but then this person bringing you that who you used to be, and it's like, whoa, it's a challenge, and you taking it like, whoa. Natural evolution is your card. Okay, let the situation unfold naturally. That's all, Libra. Yes, they, while they have this intensity for you, they're just giving you a taste of your own medicine, and not in a bad way. They just really have the hots for you. They want to get to know you better. They want to be around you. You guys could be at a distance, physically. Middle of the deck is you are worthy. So after all that, heartache, breakup, divorce, whatever the case may be, and you've been sitting there for a while and thinking, hey, I've never, stuff is not going to be happening with me. I might just get old and shrivel up and die. No, you still got it in you. Somebody's trying to bring that out of you, but you're sitting there like, just know that you are worthy. Know that it's okay for that second chance, even if you're in your 40s, your 50s, because this is what this person is, that they're in that age bracket. Okay, you got honeymoon, bottom of the deck. Somebody definitely wants to, show out for you, give it up, and then honest communication right underneath that. So having to talk to this person instead of you distancing yourself from them, letting them know, like, listen, let's just take it slow. I really like you too. I want to get to know you better as well. And communication, man. Communication. All right, so let's see, what is this? Natural evolution. All right, so we got clock here. Need time. Time to heal. So in reverse. And then dragonfly, middle of the deck. Be lighthearted. Finding out. Things come to light. Adapt. Change. And then bottom of the deck is the butterfly. Some more evolution, evolving. You might be apprehensive about moving on like that, but just know that you are worthy. This is your time to shine. But if you need to let somebody know, hey, let's pull it back a notch, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, hopefully you have somebody who will understand that, and they will dig it, and they will move accordingly, because we have here, it's going to be moving naturally. All right, so that's what I have for you, Libra. That is your message. Have fun. Don't be such a prude. All right, Aquarius. My other favorite sign. The energy of Aquarius is just... Aquarius is fixed of the air sign. So, they could like I said, be a little stubborn. But they are the humanitarians of the zodiac. They are, out there in the world, and they're the innovators, and the innovators with technology and starting up new things. They're also deemed as the water bearers. They're not a water sign, but they do carry the water. So that's bringing, emotion, even though Aquariuses can be emotionless. They can be a little aloof to the emotions, but they can bring it when they're engaged in with the person, not engaged like married, but engaged in the connection. They'll bring that love. They will. But they can also take that emotion right back, and you're just like, well, what happened here? Did I just get ghosted while standing right here with Aquarius? Yeah, absolutely. They completely will check out. Check out. So let's see what's cooking for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Taurus. And now I can't get that Chris Brown song out of my head. Take it down. I really want to take it down. What's the message for Aquarius? Ooh, that flew out. All right, so you have challenges. Make a decision, work on inner healing. Middle of the deck is someone else. Someone else is in the middle. Someone is trying to sabotage this. And bottom of the deck is narcissist. Someone is too full of themselves. So there's your challenge, Aquarius. Someone is full of themselves. They're in the midst of some things here that are you just like, listen, don't want to deal with that. Cannot be one-sided. This could be you, Aquarius, though. You could be the narcissistic one, or it could appear that way to somebody else. But this is you just, sitting on the sidelines, like how Libra was sitting there on the sidelines observing some things. This person could be gaslighting you, or not gaslighting, breadcrumbing you, where they're like, you know what, I'm leaving. No, they're not. They'll be back. Right underneath that. They try to, this person is very challenging, but I feel like they do it to like get a rise out of you, Aquarius, like see what you're going to do, see if you're going to step up and fight for it and stuff. But it's almost like this like little game, this little petty game, cat and mouse game. Again, like I said, this could be you, Aquarius, like a little challenge. Like a little challenge. But we will dive a little deeper and see what's what. Okay. What's that? Open your heart underneath that. Distance. They could be at a distance as well, physically. Or you're just distancing yourself because you're like, look, I'm not for all this narcissistic, manipulative ways. Like, no. See, it says make a decision and work on the inner healing. So. Wow, Taurus is really bringing us like relationship, right? Isn't that like what we're seeing right now? The theme is like relationship situations. Really taking a good look at them, taking a good look at ourselves while we're going through these relationships or lack of, right? Very interesting. Well, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. So yeah, that would make sense. Venus has to do with love for self, love for others, money, as we saw Taurus dealing with some gold digger. So yeah, this Taurus season is bringing us the message of relationships, what to do with them, how to move accordingly, looking at those flags. Yeah, we all love to see a green one. We like to see that green light and go. We got to pay attention. Oh my goodness. Whoa, you guys. Look, when I say you got to pay attention to those lights. Wow. Stoplight. All right, so the Three of Pentacles is your clarifying this challenge. Middle of the deck is the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck is the Death card, Scorpio energy, death and rebirth. So we're in a full moon right now with Scorpio. So not only a relationship like that you have, with a significant other, but this could also be somebody at work that you're having a problem with, right? This narcissistic behavior, they're challenging you, because the Three of Pentacles is about like working together, but somebody may have like this, they're the sabotager, the saboteur. Okay, they throw monkey wrenches in, and it's like you have to pick up the pieces and get the job done, get it and work, right? Making a decision. Now, obviously, you're not, I don't know how your threshold and tolerances of leaving a job because you've had your wits end with the policies, with the people. But if you can, then that's what you do, because we have the Death card here. That's letting go. But if you can't, you have to reevaluate. Make the decision of reevaluating how you're going to handle this. The policies at work. This could be policies with friends in school. Let's clarify, what is this Three of Pentacles? But yeah, definitely paying attention to these warning signs. Maybe you have to work alone. If there's a particular project that you're doing at work that's requiring you to work with the team, if you can do what you need to do on your end by yourself solely, fine. See if that's, doable. Same thing with like schoolwork. If this has to do with doing, a group thing while you're in school, college, somebody's being challenging, you do your part and make sure that your I's are, dotted, your T's are crossed. And then when you need to present, just make sure that everybody's all on the team. But talking this out, and even if this person is challenging, difficult, narcissist, one-sided, you're definitely going to have to work together here. Okay, with that Three of Pentacles. That's about working together. That's about harmony. And it's harmony for you, so that you're not like going off the deep end. So what is this Three of Pentacles? Clarify that. The Ace of Pentacles here. Yeah, this definitely could do with work. We got the Ace of Pentacles here in reverse, clarifying this Three of Pentacles. So earth sign, all right? Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. There may be some challenges for you, Aquarius, in the workforce or in school if you're a student. Middle of the deck is the Knight of Wands here, okay, air energy. And then bottom of the deck is the Temperance card. So while we don't want to really have any altercations at work where we end up getting fired, discussing with the supervisor, with the boss, listen, I'm having some challenging moments here with the team. If I can do my part individually and then, come collectively later on, because I feel like it's just not getting done and I need to do my job, right? You always want to make yourself seem, yes, you're doing what you need to be doing, but you're also dealing with some incompetent people. Okay, with this Ace of Pentacles here in reverse, it's like you don't want anybody to mess up your money, whether it's a significant other or somebody you work with, right? So as challenging as it may feel, you're going to have to think some things out clearly, politically correct, because you can't afford to lose your job, right? You can't afford to lose your money. In the relationship, that's what I was saying with like the breadcrumbing. It's like somebody might be like emotionally unstable too. So they're like, they say stupid little things to just grab your attention and see if you're going to like move to what they're saying, threaten you with a good time. Oh, I'm leaving. Okay. Just to, just to get a rise out of you, Aquarius. So knowing and figuring this out and then just like letting it roll off your shoulders, because for any little interaction for any little, you grabbing that, like that attention, it's going to irk you. And again, you can't afford to lose money. Even if you're not in a workplace, this could be somebody that you're dealing with like outside, like if you have your own business, or you are the supervisor and you have like a small business company, you may have to do some reevaluation with this person and maybe letting them go, because you could be losing money having this person along. They may not be pulling their weight on the job, or whatever it is, building or something like that. They're not pulling their weight. So why would you have this person around? They're messing up your money. All right. They got to go. You could find somebody else. This could be also a third party situation. This could be like a work, work husband, work wife, that kind of like relationship. And somebody throwing in that, well, yeah, when I'm with Tom doesn't, Mitch doesn't, and it's like they want to get a rouse out of you, Aquarius, or if this is the man, and he's saying, Sarah doesn't, I like going to lunch with Sarah, we have such a great time, like saying shit that just is to get your attention and get a rouse out of you. And it's like, what? Okay. So just doing what you have to do, Aquarius, that definitely, if it's hurting your pockets, it's hurting your company, it's hurting your business, you got to do some reevaluation and get people out of there. Okay. All right, let's move on to the love department. Let's see what's there for you. Real feelings. Somebody's just playing games is what I'm getting. Just playing games. It's like, it's not the time to do that. That's how people get hurt, for real, for real. Play with people's emotions. Like, don't do that. All right, so what is there for Aquarius? So we got honest communication here. Expect a heart-to-heart conversation. Okay, so yeah, you having to talk to somebody. We got you are worthy here, just like with Libra. Your worth doesn't depend on the other person. Middle of the deck. Bottom of the deck is lasting love. This is your true love. Oh, and T's right underneath that. So yeah, the signs, man. The signs, guys. Like, pay attention to them, because this person is just doing a lot of head games, okay? And you do need to have a conversation with them and let them know about themselves. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, but you're getting tired of it and you're thinking about taking that leap of I'm out, before you do that, have that conversation. Letting somebody know how they feel, how you feel to what they do. Okay. Seduction here. Attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference in reverse. And then middle of the deck is stabbed in the back in reverse, and bottom of the deck is not enough in reverse. So this there is a situationship happening at somebody's job. Like I said, there's that work husband, work wife, right? The seduction. I mean, look at her all up on the desk. Okay. Not enough. They may feel like you're not enough or whatever, because they're narcissistic. So they wanna have it all, but then they'll do this little breadcrumbing, gaslighting. Oh, they'll be back, sending this little message. Oh, I know I love you. I would never jeopardize our relationship, blah, 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 blee, blee, blee. But they're playing right in your face. So Aquarius, this is why you got to draw back, think about what you're going to do, think about what you're going to say, rely on this Taurus energy to stay grounded and put your foot down. Put your foot down. All right, so that's the message that I have for you, Aquarius. Good luck. Well, you're going to need it. Somebody, really, I feel like you want to put somebody's head through. Now, I do not condone violence at all, but I feel that anger developing inside. Like, why you, like, ooh. Okay. So let's get the wisdom oracle for the air signs. And then we will be moving on to the water signs. Cancer. Cancer's got their birthday coming up. Okay. So what is the air signs wisdom oracle? What do they need to do? Building blocks. Middle of the deck is milk and honey. Somebody got it good. And bottom of the deck is loyal heart. Okay. So your card is building blocks. 28 breaking down to 10, which breaks down to 1. Ending. 10 is the ending. 1 is the beginning. Sometimes starting from scratch, like with Libra, case in point, and with Aquarius, if you have to let somebody go, or you may have to leave a job or a relationship, it's to keep you sanitized, it's to keep you sane, right? Libra, if you're coming out of a relationship, or you haven't been in a relationship in a long time, or if you've been divorced, you've been single for quite some time, it's starting up from scratch again, building and having these heart-to-heart conversations, having these getting to know you better, and not taking things on face value, right? Because that's where we get caught up. And yeah, it's okay to take people, places, and things on face value, but you have to dig a little deeper, right? So the more that you're building inside, here is the core. You got to get to that root of things, healing yourself. I saw in a couple of the air signs there, that sign that was saying healing yourself. Who was that? The challenges under Aquarius. Okay, work on inner healing. So air signs, that's what you need to be doing as well. While you're building yourself up, while you're building, back up your company, building up a relationship, it's doing that inner work as well, that inner healing. Okay. So that's what I have. That is your message, air signs. Okay. Let's go on to water signs. Cancer is up next because they will be having their birthday after Gemini. And they are the cardinal of the water signs, also the mother of the zodiac. So, they have this emotion, they're empathic, they're ruled by the moon. So they take on everybody's characteristics every 2.5 days. Right now, the full moon is in Scorpio and is a water sign. So Cancers, you'll feel this effect. You'll feel, you may be emotional, moody, and maybe not, because Scorpio doesn't really bring that type of energy too much, not like the way Cancer does or Pisces does. So I feel like, and being that we're in Taurus season and Scorpio is the sign to Taurus, that you guys will be thriving because you're also like the Taurus. You give that energy of wearing the heart on the sleeves, getting the job done when needs to. You are the dependable, reliable friend, sister, cousin, wife, brother, husband, right? Cancers are dependable. They can, they're that friend, I always say, that you want to have in your corner because they will go to bat for you. They get a bad rap of being called crybabies, but it's like they're not. They have to take on these emotions and deal with a whole bunch of a-holes that they want to cry because of all the crap that they got to deal with. It's not because they're crying because, it's just crybaby. No, they deal with a lot that some people, they're very in-depth people. They're not surface level. So you're not going to get the little shallow talk here and there. Like, you got to really tap deep in with the Cancer, tap deep in with the Scorpio, because these two particular signs are under the water, in the murkiness, not like the fish, the Pisces, where they, you got two swimming one way, one direction, another, and they're never getting that deep in. I mean, the crab will go into their shell. They'll go inside the sand and dig deep. So will that Scorpio. So Cancers need somebody that can go in and reach out for them and bring them back, right? And it takes that special one to really understand the Cancer's mood swings, the Cancer's emotions, the Cancer's happiness, the Cancer's intellect. These are people that are, like I said, psychic. They're highly intuitive. So you can't run bullshit past them. And that's the problem with some people. And they feel like, oh, so we'll just call them crybaby because no, they just call you on your bullshit. They see bullshit a mile away. So that's that for Cancer. All right, let's see what is the message here for Cancers in Taurus season. Think of Cancer like mother. It's, they are maternal, nurturers. So can you imagine you try to pull a fast one on your mother? Your mother knows you. She wiped your little dirty behind. You think you could pull a fast one out on your mama? Cancer's big mama. Okay. What does Cancer need to know? Too many. Okay, they'll be back. Are you dealing with the Aquarius? Expect to hear from them soon. That is your card there. Bottom of the deck, I didn't get the middle of the deck. I didn't get that card, but we got Guardian here. A lost loved one watches over you. Oh, that's so sweet. As I just celebrated the 3rd anniversary of my dad's passing. He passed away on April 29th. My Pisces. So yeah, they'll be back. Could be that also, you're having spiritual visitations. Okay, it could be physical, like seeing them or getting signs, or them visiting you in your dreams. So Let's go ahead and a little deeper and clarify what is this. Expect to hear from them soon. They could be your guardian angels now that they've transitioned over. So watching you. Yeah, so at hearts, a message, they, the deceased loved ones speak in a different type of communication. So it's not like I'm here, but they'll like send you a bird or a butterfly, or there's a song that comes on that was, their favorite song. Doesn't necessarily have to be a parent. It could be a significant loved one, a friend, right? Or you're like in travel and you see like their name, or you see, something that shows them. That's them letting you know, hi, I'm here. So it's not like the physical, hi, I'm here. Now, if they say that, okay. But yeah. 2 days. No, wait, was it 2 days? Hold on a second. Speaking of signs, what was that? Yes, 2 days before my dad's anniversary. I'm sitting in my room and I'm watching the TV, but like my peripheral, I see something floating up in the air, and it was like reddish. So I start cracking jokes like, oh, that looks like the it balloon because it was red. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And it was like a cloudy day. It wasn't sunny out and stuff. And I actually took a picture of it. And then I got to my window and I looked, and it was a red helium balloon, but it was in the shape of a heart. And it flew. It just, what are the odds of it flying? Not directly right in front of my window, but in front of my window, in front of my building. And it just glided up, and it would like turn a little bit. And, I was like, wow. And then here I see this little heart with the they'll be back. So, yeah. All right, what is this? Clarify this. So the five of five of swords here, middle of the deck, the 3 of swords in reverse, so air energy. And then the Knight of Cups here, bottom of the deck, is water signs. So the 5 of swords is an energy of arguing, combativeness, manipulation. Here's this crow here. I've been seeing crows too, related to my dad. So, you might have had a tumultuous relationship with this person that passed over. But like, don't beat yourself up over it. Like, it's done, and I know the part of the grieving is where we go into denial, or we go into the what do they call that? Oh my goodness. It's like this bartering. It's like, well, what if I did it this way, or I could have done it that way, right? Like the coulda, woulda, shouldas. And the person's gone. So now, you live life, you love, you enjoy, you set something up for them in memory, whether you want to do a charity, or even just having their picture and a candle up on your desk, or in your living room, somewhere where it's off to the side or whatnot. Look, and then this person's in the background like, hey, I'm here, and you could be just like stressed and grieving that they're not around, but they are. They're there. You just can't see them. Or you can, like, if you're really like clairvoyant, you could see some things, hear some things, smell some things. But what I'm saying is just know that they're around you, especially when you're going through some times, going through some type of emotional distress. It could be stress at work, could be stress at home, stress with relationship, right? Just stressed all around. they happen to show up more then, because they're letting you know, like, look, I'm here with you. They're giving you that spiritual pat on your back, that calming, I'm here. Okay. What else? Anytime we see the number 5, that does have to do with change. It does have to do with conflict, confusion, chaos. But, what was in the past is not anymore. So we got to let that go. Yeah, 4 of Wands in reverse, clarifying this 5 of Swords. So this definitely has to do with family, but definitely could be with a significant loved one. Husband, wife. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck here. So consuming, trying not to consume yourself or overwork yourself. Even though that keeps us busy while we're like going through our grief or going through our stress, it isn't necessarily healthy. And your loved ones want you to know that. Like, embrace in the good times, embrace in, even the bad times or what have you, that's a reflection, but not to stress over the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Okay. Doves are also another sign that you could see them if they show up. Doves are also God's spiritual animals, that it represents the promise of God and humans or mankind, right? It's the covenant. So the promise that, your people, your deceased loved ones will be around you. Now, they're around you 24/7, no, but they're around when, anniversaries come up, when birthdays come up, when the family's all together, when you're stressed. So know that they are there for you, Cancer. Okay. Let's move on to the love department. Ooh, fearless love. Just gave me like fearless love, Cancer. Okay. All right. What is the message for love, for romance, for Cancer? And you may not even be feeling this because, you're going through your stages of grief. This could have been 5 years ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago, 4 years ago, depending, whatever. But, if there's an anniversary coming by, for sure, you're going to be feeling it. Does he have a leather jacket on? Because why my dad I got my dad's leather jacket in the closet. Yeah, opening up to love. And I know it's hard, but that's what I'm saying. It's got to be the right one. It's got to be the right one that can tap in with Cancer and help them, bring them up out of depression, be there for them. It could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini that you could be dealing with, or that could be coming into your life, Cancer. Oh, because Libra also got somebody that you're separated, or you've been like divorced or something like that. Okay, Cancer could be dealing with a Libra, or going to be dealing with a Libra. Ugh. Libras are peculiar people, man. Like Scorpio, they're just, and not peculiar in a cutesy way like Sagittarius. Peculiar in a I love you, Libras. I love you. But hold on a second, boys. Okay. So Cancer. Let's see what's going on. It's cooking for you guys. Okay, so we got healing family issues. Yeah, that would make sense. And then we got healing connection in reverse. Middle of the deck, bottom of the deck is open your heart while it's in reverse. Because, Cancer, you're going through some stuff right now. You're just like, I don't have time for that extra shizness. I really, grief definitely takes over, especially if it's either significant, if you've lost a spouse or parents or children. Some people don't come back from that. So, taking the time for yourself, taking all the time that you need, Cancer, that's what's going to help you then. So look, also in this picture, there's a spirit right here. So this could be the mother, like I said, could be a deceased mother, deceased wife, watching over her family, the children. Okay. And it's a lot to take on, especially if you're a parent that your spouse is gone and you have to take on, dual roles. That's a lot. You're not thinking about anybody else. You can't even fathom that into your brain at the moment. It could be somebody that you are talking to where it's just like, but they have to really understand, respect your grief, respect your boundary, respect what you're going through, your healing process. I don't think that it's somebody who passed away that very recently, but definitely within the last 5 years or so. Okay, 5 months could be very recent. But what I'm saying is, it's not like it was yesterday, kind of thing, right? And if you are happening to talk to somebody, or you were talking to someone romantically, and the deceased person passed away in the interim of you, establishing something, that could put a little friction between you and somebody, because you're removing yourself out of, the picture there, and you're focusing on yourself, focusing on your family members, that hopefully the other person doesn't take it, too personal, and understand that, you're grieving, you're going through some things, you got to do some stuff with the family. That's what I'm saying. It takes a special one, Cancer. You're not settling with any old. If they're not helping you emotionally and spiritually, maybe even physically, you right now. Like I said, you guys can smell bullshit a mile away. So they don't have a chance. We don't have time. Like I said, I'm a Cancer sun sign. I lost my dad 3 years ago. His anniversary was April 29th. The amount of people that I had to cut off. I've been cutting people off since 2018. And some I've rehatched the relationships with. But that's because I had to have these communications, have these heart-to-heart conversations, doing that healing work with family issues, right? Because I can't hold all that anger inside. Can't hold that animosity. It's not going to help me to grow, to my higher self. So Forgive and let go. Don't say forgive and forget. Forgive and let go. You keep it pushing, because it's for your sanity. It's not for them. It's for your sanity. You know, those 5 stages of grief. So, counseling, seeking help, relationship counselor, or just a therapist for yourself, Cancer. Cupid's arrow here. Have faith. Love is coming. Surprise. Yeah, in reverse. Because you're not dealing with it. We got middle of the deck here is engagement ring in reverse, and then date. So this could be somebody that you just, this person could be fairly new. They do want to offer some type of um, love. They could be a water sign. Now I'll tell you who will understand, and depends on how emotionally mature they are, would be a Pisces. Of course it would be Pisces. Because they can reach you in that depth, but it has to be an emotionally mature Pisces, because you will have the immature Pisces that'll think, they'll get into their little narcissistic bag and, I ain't not talking to me. Da, 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 da. Like, listen. It's not about you right now. Okay. So, if there's somebody here that's emotionally, even though if they're a little younger than you, but they're being supportive, Cancer, then, go for it. But you have to heal. You got to go through this process, and rightfully so. Okay. All right, Cancer. This brought me down a notch. That's what I have for you guys. All right, let's move on to Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have a full moon in Scorpio right now. So this energy for the fixed signs, and specifically water signs, you guys will be feeling this effect. But I feel like it's a yummy energy, because Scorpio is about transformation. It's about death, rebirth as well. That phoenix coming up from the ashes and stuff. So it's not all just doom and gloom. It's not all just death and endings. It's also about transformation and rebirth, moving on. But they can get to, the nitty gritty of things. They go into that esoteric world, the deep dive of that energy. And, it could be a little bit too much for some people. So, this is the energy that we're having here. And when we're in a full moon, that's definitely about endings. Okay. So take it as a double ending, double. And that's all right if things have to, come to that end. Although we've come to the end of the road, still I can't let you go. All right, so Scorpio, what do we have here for you? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. A word on the street is Scorpio too, is the little hot tamale, like Libra. They might as well be brother and sister, or brother and brother, sister and sister. But yeah, Scorpio is overt like Libra. Aquarius. I skipped out on Aquarius. I think I didn't forget. I remember Aquarius. But yeah, those are the triplets that are out there. Like, see me, let me see you. So you're like, okay. Could be a little bit much. And Scorpios are peculiar too, like Libras. They're really, like I'm saying, they could be brother and sister, or brother and brother. Like, they have almost the same type of energy, but one's a fixed sign, the other one's a cardinal. But the energy is very similar. It's just like, I can't ever be so bothered. Okay. All right, Scorpio, what do we have here for you guys? Okay, we got cycles, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. See, so there you are. You showed up. And then we got love spell. You've been bewitched. Bottom of the deck is pets. Getting a new pet, giving a current pet more love. So, yeah, I would say, Scorpio, you can deal with that karmic type of energy as well. But as I was describing you, it's the phoenix, it's the ending, it's the dying and diving deep, right? But coming up out of the ashes like the phoenix, um, rising to the occasion, endings so that beginnings can happen, right? Cycles. Um, you might want to start looking into maybe a pet, a cat, a dog. Um, where if you lost a pet, I feel like because something's with death here, maybe it's the energy of cancer that's leaving us, but um, if you haven't had a pet in a long time, you might be contemplating about getting another one. This brings that love, like it brings companionship, it brings happiness. And if you have one already, just showing them more love. It says here, give it time. So if you do invest in getting a new pet, right underneath pets, it says give it time. So, just getting to know them getting to know you, getting to know the household, the lay of the land. And then clarifying this cycles is the Three of Wands. Middle of the deck is the Empress, Taurus energy. And bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands, fire energy. So Three of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this has to do a lot with like distance, but also like your ships are passing, or they're coming in rather. So the reaping what we sow, as the karmic, not all karma is negative, right? Dharma, karma, but it's what you put out there. So if you've always been a douchebag and an a-hole to people, well, expect that energy to come back to you. If you've always been, a person who's, abiding by laws and, a kind person, a loving person, well, expect that to come back to you, right? Anything that you put out, any type of energy that you put out, expect it to come back in. So with this Three of Wands, that's that type of energy. Definitely a new beginning happening for you, Scorpio. Okay. The next fire sign is Leo. So between now and the end of July, going into August, if you don't jump on getting a little pet for you right now, it might come back and circle again for you towards the middle of the summer. Traveling also, again, it's, starting up. If you haven't traveled in a while, getting back out there, seeing, but starting off small, maybe doing local and then, expanding yourself, getting your feet wet to going back and doing like big travels. And just know that it is like fate, destiny, that, oh, excuse me, that a pet comes into your life. It's almost like you're at this crossroad in a sense where you have some things accomplished. There's some other things that you want to get accomplished, but you could be a single person and just not wanting to be in a relationship, but definitely the idea of a pet is entertaining your mind. So, do your homework with this Page of Wands here, not to rush and just, because fire energy will do that. Fire energy will have us impulsive. But because we're in Taurus, season right now, and then that's your sister sign. It's being grounded, it's being level-headed, it's thinking things through and seeing where it goes. If it doesn't work out right now, it will come back again. That's the beauty of the cycle. Let me just clarify this Three of Wands here. If this is in regards to a relationship, it could be a fire sign that you're dealing with, but they're at a distance. They may not be able to see you because they have pets. So, that requires like getting a sitter for it, or putting it like in a doggy daycare, or, something like that that requires that, type of attention, because they can't just up and leave. This is like a passionate relationship. Yeah. Knight of Cups, clarifying this Three of Wands. As I said, passionate relationship. Somebody wants to offer, this love for you, this love to you. It's not just a physical thing, but they do like you physically. We got the Two of Wands here, middle of the deck in reverse, fire energy, and then the Star card, Aquarian energy here in reverse. So I feel like this is a very new relationship, Scorpio, or you haven't met this person yet. So it's just, taking time to get to know them. Again, they could be at a distance, or a big distance. It could be like this massive water, water in between you guys. So like across the country, maybe even across the world. Because this knight here is also walking with his horse on water. So definitely, physically could be at a distance. Emotionally, there could be this distance as well because of the physical distance. But nonetheless, this person has this passion for you, Scorpio, where they do want to, bring this love. They could also be a water sign like yourself, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or fire sign. But it's definitely like this passion. And it's not just like sexual, but it's also like intimate. It's emotional. It's sweet. It's tenderhearted. It's youthful. They could be younger than you, by a couple of years, or they have like this youthfulness about them, which I feel like you like, or you're like this and they like that about you. Okay. All right, let's move into the love department. Okay, what is here for Scorpio? Okay. So, perfect match. You complete each other in the most harmonious way. Let's see. And then we have here, open your heart. Love is in the highest energy of all. In reverse, middle of the deck. Bottom of the deck is engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. See, and that's what I was saying. Somebody wants to offer you, they may want to offer you a commitment. They may want to offer you a commitment with this cup here. Bring this bond closer together. Fate would have it. Okay, so where you were thinking, kind of like, who was it? Now I'm getting you guys mixed up, but somebody was feeling like, oh, Libra, no, I'm not gonna, it's not happening, no relationships is happening, I don't think I'm worthy enough, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Scorpio, this person's being brought to you because of fate. It's destined to happen. It's destined to be. This is why you guys, your chemistry is really good. It works. It's the perfect match. Okay, it works. Let's clarify this perfect match. Okay. So separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you. Yeah, it's distance. There's like this physical distance here. And then we got I like you here in reverse. Middle of the deck, bottom of the deck is coffee cup. Meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendship. So, trying to spend as much time as you can. Maybe I feel like if there is an engagement, somebody wants to get engaged, that things could progress, and then somebody's moving in with somebody. You gotta work out the pet thing because somebody has pets, or somebody's thinking about getting pets, or you're with somebody and you're like, you don't really, you're not thinking about children, but you're thinking about pets, which can be little children, pet children. That's also a commitment, right? So trying to spend as much time, emotionally with this person. If you can't be physically at the moment, doing the emotional thing with them, where it is, talking, having heart-to-heart conversations, having, fun-filled conversations, lightheartedness. I feel like this person's, lighthearted. There's a lot of laughs going on here. There's a good time, even if you can't see each other all the time. That's a nice relationship. Well, good for you, Scorpio. Okay, that's what I have for you guys. All right, up next is Pisces. Pisces, you little fishies. You guys, you are my heart. You are my heart. So, Pisces is the mutable. They're ruled by Neptune, so that's illusion, delusion, rose-colored glasses. Pisces has, it's not me saying this, it's what's been noted, that they have some form of addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs, gambling, or sex. And that's what makes Pisces, like, it's weird because they're not like overt, like how a Libra or Scorpio is. They're very like subtle and behind the scenes type stuff. It's just like, what, Pisces? Oh, so you don't see it coming because, they're like this little, they could be flirtatious. Don't get me wrong. They can be, but they're not like, it's not like they drooling. Like, I'm sorry, Libra, Scorpio, but I don't know. It's just, they're the Pisces thing is a little different, but they can be flirtatious for sure. Absolutely. But it's a different, they move a little differently, where it makes you, it's like unassuming. So you're just like, oh, it's, are they really flirting with me? Like, it's kind of unassuming. It is what it is. Pisces is the mutable of the water sign. So again, that going with the flow of things, very fluid. They're artistic, emotional. They also will, like Cancer, like Taurus, like Leo. They, wear their heart on their sleeve. They do for their families, friends, loved ones. Piss them off though, and you have Jekyll and Hyde on your hands, because they are so Dr. Jekyll, scholarly, unassuming. What? I don't know how they're not number one on the FBI list. They got Cancers as the number one FBI list for emotional, that take people out. But I'm like, Pisces is on there for serial killers, I think. Pisces and Gemini. But I'm like, Cancer should not be number one. I rebuked that. I refute it. Because, yeah, Cancers can get riled up and black out and stuff, but how dare the FBI have us as number one? All right, Pisces, let's see what they got here for you. What's in store for Taurus season? Oh, my little Pisces is home. It's just getting it. All right, you got health.
They're still there.
What?
The bags are still there.
All right, so you have health here. Health issues could arise. All right, Pisces. Middle of the deck is honeymoon phase, attending someone's wedding. Bottom of the deck is love. What is up with this love spell? This has been floating around. You've been bewitched. Okay, so health issues, love spell. We got no underneath that. It's not the right time. You know, when I talk about what I do, you know, as far as reading the cards and stuff, and I've mentioned this before, I don't do any love spells. I don't do any money spells. Love is free will. It shouldn't be binding you and bonding you with somebody. They like you, they like you. They love you, they love you. If not, keep it pushing. I don't know, Pisces, this could be you doing the love spells. But be careful because the stuff comes back to you. This is why I don't do that kind of thing. This is why. But I thought I just... Okay. I thought I just sent the text. Whatever. So let's clarify, what is this health? Okay, so be mindful about, you know, trying to have somebody, trying to do some type of love spell, trying to do some type of intention of you want this person in your life. You know, listen, things can come back tenfold, and you're like, well, what happened? Well, because you was dibbling and dabbling and trying to get somebody to fall in love with you, trying to get somebody to stay in love with you, or trying to keep somebody. No, Pisces. Or this could be the other person. Okay, well, let's clarify, what is this health? Yeah, be careful of drinking from anybody that you don't really know, like drinking, you know, if it's not like a restaurant or it's not like a family member or a very close friend, be careful with drinking from somebody. Because they might be trying to like make you sick. Yeah, like putting stuff into your food, into your drink, where it's like it's a slow, subtle decline. There's like some type of quick. I don't mean to scare you, Pisces. I'm just trying to say, just be careful about, you know, who you're eating from, who you're drinking from. If you are married or you're dealing with somebody, good luck, because I hope they're not trying to do this to you, Pisces. Jeez. Why Pisces got to come with the craziest story right now? Relationship, all kinds. Ooh. Okay, so you got the moon card. All right, that is you showing up, Pisces, Cancer. Okay, you could be dealing with a Cancer. You pissing a Cancer off to where they ready to. Okay, Page of Pentacles, middle of the deck. Okay, And then bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords. Yeah, this could be a very rocky relationship here, very tumultuous one, very volatile. Somebody trying to, I don't know. I ain't gonna go too further into it because Pisces, I don't know what's going on with you. 18 breaking down to 9. So an ending. Listen, be careful out here. Be careful out here. Things will be revealed to you. We're in a Scorpio full moon right now, so you know you'll see some things. Some things will be revealed to you. All right. Knight of Pentacles. Pisces, what is going on? Are you getting on somebody's last nerve, Pisces? Sure you are. Just as cute and sweet as you are, little fishes, you sure enough get on people's nerves. You sure do. You sure do. All right, what is this moon card here? You know, you could be getting a if you weren't noticing anything like with your health, there may be come to a rise now. Good time to get, you know, a checkup, get a clean bill of health if you can. Again, disclaimer, not a medical professional, but there could be like water around your heart, fluid, not water, fluid. All right, so definitely want to go to the doctor, get checked out. Just to give yourself, you know, a peace of mind or an annual checkup. We don't want to play around with our health, whether it be physical or mental, right? We want to make sure that things are, and yeah, I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm not going to these institutions. Listen, you could be a ticking time bomb for a heart attack. That's how my daddy passed. That little Pisces man. Okay. Unexpectedly, didn't know it was coming. Took him out. Ace of Swords. All right. So yeah, the truth. Some truths are going to be revealed. All right. This is God's way. You may have a scare, a health scare, where that's going to let you, hey, you got to take better care of yourself. Okay. 7 of Wands, middle of the deck here. Again, here's that protection, guarding yourself. You definitely need to be mindful about what you eat, what you drink, who you're drinking from, who you're eating from, right? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles here, bottom of the deck. That was the middle of the deck, sorry. Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. You know, overworking yourself to where you really need some time to rest, rejuvenate, right? Take a load off, contemplate. You could be mentally overworked. Again, physical and mental health are very important, okay, to take care of yourself, because we will burn ourselves out. But definitely some truths or a truth will be revealed during this time. Yeah, and it's like almost like like they say a health scare, where it's like, okay, you know what, now you need to really take a little break, take care of yourself. Okay. All right, let's go to the romance department. So, all right, what is the romance department saying here? Yeah, for sure, this has to do around your heart, Pisces, or someone you're dealing with may have heart issues, and you like need to let them know, hey, look, you might need to be that voice of reason, be that truth for them. Like, look, you gotta go see the doctor. You need to go get, have an evaluation, get a physical, do your blood work, right? Just so that they're okay. Eating heart healthy foods. Yeah, marriage in reverse. Responsibilities, as I just said, you may be the one, Pisces, that has to take on that responsibility of reminding them, hey, you missed your appointment, we got to reschedule. Or you need to go to the doctor, right? It says romance interrupted, duties come first. Absolutely. Bottom of the deck, love language affirmations. Loving words hold great power. Letting your partner know, hey, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, we'll do this together. We got this, right? You're so strong. Things like that. Your card is marriage here in reverse. It says wedding bells are ringing. Um, if you're not married, then you're in a committed relationship. This is why the marriage card is in reverse. And still, you take on this responsibility. If you care for this person, you love this person, you're definitely going to want to see their well-being. So, being involved, getting them, maybe, you doing some exercises or taking on the responsibility of cooking better foods, heart healthy foods, right? Okay. What is this marriage? Let's clarify this marriage here. Okay. So cassette, outdated thinking, see? Replaying events over in your head. Old way of thinking. Oh no, if I do this, I'll be all right. No, see, healthy choices, making a healthy choice in love and in life. Self-love, self-care, being happier, middle of the deck. I'm not making this up. Love calls, someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you, letting you know, not making it up. Letting the person know, hey, I love you. I don't want anything to happen to you. I'm here for you. We can do this together. We got a healthy heart right underneath that. So there's definitely something wrong with the heart. Okay. It could be your person, Pisces, or this is you. Take heed. Don't be stubborn. Get in, get to where you can get professional help and start on the right track. Okay. All right. That's what I have for you, Pisces. That is your message. All right. So let's get the water signs, the wisdom oracle for the water signs. Okay. And what do the water signs need to know? Here we go. Okie dokie. You got why water signs. Why? Regeneration, middle of the deck, and bottom of the deck is milk and honey. Okay, so definitely for Pisces specifically, you want to eat right. Okay, you want to eat healthier. Why? 31 breaking down to 4, that's building. So water signs, um, questioning relationships, questioning health, doing your research, getting that knowledge. I feel it's Cancer. Who was it that's getting the loved one that's coming through? Yeah, a loved one. Going through those cycles of grief, right? The 5 stages. We're questioning, why did this happen? If I did this way, the coulda, shoulda, the wouldas, right? We're just letting it go because it's not good for our health when we're dwelling on this, right? And that could take a toll on us physically. So building ourselves back up one step at a time. If you don't understand, like if you do happen to go to the doctor and there's questions, maybe getting a second opinion. If you have questions, always ask them. Doesn't matter how silly you may think it is. Come there prepared with your book, with your notepad and things of that nature, and ask away. All right. Taking the time to rebuild, make and getting yourself healthy instead of questioning why, what was me. No, take action. Be preventative. Okay. All right, water signs. That is your message. Let's go on to Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Leo is my other favorite sign. I love the energy of Leo. Leo is the sun. Leo represents the sun. Where Cancer is the moon, Leo is the sun. So it shines bright. Leo is also a fixed sign. So they could be a little stubborn. They're kind of like my way or the highway. But they also, like Pisces, like Cancer, like Taurus, big heart, lion heart. Almost to where I would say unconditional. Okay, that's the love that they have. Very dedicated workers, dedicated to their job, to their craft, to their spouse, to their loved one, to their family, their children. Okay. All right, so let's get the message here for Leo. What is the message, Leo? What do you guys need to know? So I saw narcissist there. Great intimacy. Don't be dealing with a narcissist that has intimacy issues, or you might have intimacy issues. All right, we got distance, middle of the deck. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Seriously, there's a lot of relationship stuff, except aside from like Pisces, because Pisces is kind of relationship, but I'll give them a pass. Everybody else, we got like relationship issues going on here. Ooh. And then bottom of the deck is gambling. Problems with addiction or gambling, bad finances. So Leo, sexual chemistry and reminiscing with this gambling here, bottom of the deck and a distance. What's underneath that and moving? You may be feeling like this is a gamble. There's this passion here. You guys have that passion in you, your fire signs. But like the other signs, it's that cautionary tale of paying attention to the red flags, paying attention to the yellow flags. Is it worth putting up your house for someone that is just strictly on some sexual chemistry? Like, you really have to think these things through. It's not worth losing your house, losing yourself in all of this because of this intimacy, right? The sexual chemistry. Yes, it feels good. It's, in the moment, it's pleasurable, but does it withhold? Does it stand up through the test of time, right? It's like Taurus. Are you losing money because you got a gold digger here? Like somebody's like, there's some type of risk going on. Okay, so let's clarify a little bit there. What's this intimacy? Okay. Emperor. Middle of the deck is the Six of Wands. Okay, fire energy. And bottom of the deck is the Hermit card. Okay, Virgo energy. So you have the Emperor, which is fire, is Aries. It's paternal, like father figure rather. Um, mm, it's major arcana, so this is very big. Somebody could be using, who is this? Like, who was that? I think it's Taurus too. Somebody's using like sex as a ploy. They're doing this breadcrumbing, or yeah, because I saw narcissist there too. Aries can kind of be like that, but that's what I'm getting with him though. It's very narcissist. Um, they may be even sadistic in like intimacies. I don't know, Leo. If that's your little thing, fine. But be careful with all that. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. I feel like somebody has been kicked out of their home because of these issues that they have. So they're like couch surfing, or Leo, like that might be an issue. You may need to like, yeah, caution underneath all that. You know, you might be, because you're loving and understanding and stuff like that. Don't be too loving and understanding and accommodating, because this person has got issues. Okay, they may be a sex addict or gambling addict. There's a lot of stuff going on. They're narcissists. Nothing really fun here. They may give a good time pleasurably, but okay, with the Nine of Pentacles and this Hermit here, try not to fall into the trap of hearing their sob story and then you're giving up your savings, you're giving up your stability, you're giving up what you've been working so hard for with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, what is this Emperor here? They can come off very authoritative, as if matter of fact, but you can be like that too, Leo. So, putting your foot down. I mean, just like Taurus, like putting your foot down to these behaviors, to these people. Somebody's playing games with this, the king, the piece, the chess piece here, and then we got the chessboard underneath that, checkers, because that's a checkers board. So it's like they act like they're playing chess. They act like they're calculating their moves and doing this, but they're playing games. They're playing low level stuff, and they're very, root chakra, just low vibrational type person. Okay, and do you really want to involve yourself with that? And like I said, the sexual chemistry, yeah, it's there, but or if you're reminiscing and this person happens to call you, they're only calling you because they don't have no other place to go, or they don't have anyone else. They're trying to, like, spin the block again, go back. And it's like, wow, yeah, the Lover's card. Okay, Gemini energy here for this Emperor. Seven of Swords, middle of the deck in reverse, sneaky, even though I don't read it that way, but for this reading, yeah. And then you have the Four of Pentacles here, bottom of the deck. So protecting your assets, being a little stingy, protecting yourself. Okay, because you got the Lover's card here with this Emperor. And the Lover's card is a very divine connection. It's, that spiritual matrimony. And they may try to come off as, being like that with the Hermit here as a spiritual card, as a spiritual energy. But this person, like I said, is playing games. They're playing mind games. They're playing sexual games. They're playing just all negative stuff. There's not really a fun thing going on here other than, bumping each other in the bedroom. But you can do that with anybody, basically. And I feel like this person is just, they're a user. So they're going to, if you're willing to open up your coins, open up your bank debit card or whatever, open up your body, mind, soul, then go ahead. But this, like I said, this person is coming with angles. All right, let's go into the love department. They could be a Gemini, Leo, because the Lover's card is Gemini, and that's two major arcana. So this is someone who's very powerful, or this is you, Leo. I hope that's not you, but they may be only dominant in the sex department because I feel like they don't have anything else going on. They probably don't have a lot of money. If they're gambling their partner's money away. They're gambling their house. They've done a lot of stuff that because they have a problem. Okay, and really, you don't really want to get wrapped up in all that. I feel like this is an ex for you, Leo. For some reason, I really don't get like this is a spouse of yours, or this is like a friend slash sexual partner, if that makes sense. Like this is not somebody that you've had like a very real intimate relationship with, like intimate, like on a loving relationship. This is very like platonic, but like friends with benefits type stuff. And now they're just coming back around because they're just trying to see, hey, does Leo have a place for me to stay? Does Leo have any money for me? Remember the good times, Leo? They use that, and they use that as like dominance. Let go of control issues. Reconciliation in reverse. No reconciliation. Absolutely not. You deserve love. Yeah, not from this person. And then let go of control issues in reverse. That's what they want you to do. Because they know that you know how to pull rank too. Clarify this, let go of control issues. Oh, I'm going into 3 hours. Yikes. Got 2 more cards. Addiction, see? This is their problem, Leo. Codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block or restraint. They might have been kicked out the house because they have a restraining order or something. Just you don't want this person around you. Like even if you guys were cool and friends and all that other stuff, like that was in the past. Really try to let this person like know, like look, this time around, I just can't do it. I cannot do it. We got Ascension here, middle of the deck, bottom of the deck. Karmic relationship, exactly. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, lessons, letting go, and loving you. No matter how smooth talking they are, no matter how great they were in bed, bottom line is that this person is bringing a lot of other issues that it's just too much for you. Okay. All right, Leo. So good luck with that. Okay. Let's move on to Sagittarius. My little peculiar creatures, what I call them, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sweethearts, unassuming, but life of the party. They do get things done. They may take some time in getting it done, but they will get it done completely. You won't have to worry about Sagittarius doing anything. Once you ask them, hey, did you do X, Y, and Z? Oh, yep. did it. They're mutable, so they go and flow with the energy. Let's see, I'm just going to the comment section. Red Illusion was in the building. Salute. Brother Nazir was in the building. Salute, y'all. I'm just checking the messages. I'm learning a lot from you, Foxy. Oh, thank you, Ro. Salute to you guys. Sorry, I didn't check the messages. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead into Sagittarius. We got one more card, one more sign, and that's Aries, and then we're done. This does take a long time. All right, so Sagittarius, what do we have here for you guys in Taurus season? Plus, Sagittarius is half human, half horse. So if that's not peculiar, like they're the only ones that have that issue going on there. Okay. Sag, what do we have for you guys? Okay. Oh, we got spy. Interesting. Very interesting. So someone's got their eye on you. You are doing your research. So this could be you doing research. Middle of the deck is divorce, experiencing a breakup. Maybe that's why they're spying on you. And then we got give it time, everything in divine time. Let things flow. Underneath that is someone has something to tell you, confessions. So they could be letting you know, hey, I've been having my eye on you. I've been watching you, not in a creepy bad way. It's just they've been watching you. There could be this admiration. They want to know if you're single, or if you're involved with somebody. They could be watching from social media, obviously, or they could be hiring a private detective if this is someone that's divorced. They want to, or they're trying to build up a case for their divorce. Sagittarius, what? You and Pisces is just like, oh, side swipe me. All right, let's clarify. What is this spy here? What is this spy? Are you just doing your research, Sag, on somebody? Maybe you are the private detective. So this, or you could be a like either a police detective or a lawyer that's working on the case for a divorce. And if that's not it, then somebody's looking onto somebody else's social media, just trying to get out some information. This could be you, this could be them. All right, what is this? Could be a female that's watching you, Sagittarius, if it's whether you're a male or a female. It could be a female. Justice. Yeah, this is something legal. The Four of Swords here, middle of the deck. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. So this definitely could be regarding a relationship. Justice, that's Libra energy. You could be dealing with a Libra or a water sign. But I feel like somebody's trying to build a case, or this is you, Sagittarius. You're trying to build a case for either it's you or a client that you're working with to get a divorce. Obviously, you have to put some things together. So, obviously it takes some time, right? You got to build things up. The Four of Swords also shows us that we have to reflect, take some time to regroup. So, yeah, just having to take some time to regroup, think things out. And if that's not the case, Sagittarius, like I said, whoever's watching you, yeah, they definitely um screen time. They're definitely watching from the screens. Let's see, what is this Justice card here? They could be watching you at night. Or this is now to go into like the spiritual world. This could be like a monitoring spirit, as they call it, that watches you at night. Could be a guardian angel, but I get weird vibes. All right, so clarifying this justice is the Page of Pentacles here. So Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Middle of the deck is the Seven of Cups. And bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. So leaning more towards a divorce. Somebody's trying to build a case. Um, Pages have to do, with children. So there may be like custody battles, custody issues going on here. Page of Cups, so there could be two children involved here. And like splitting the time, which child will go with that parent, like splitting them up, trying to split them up. It could be twins. Yeah, somebody's just being like very vindictive. So they're doing like everything possible, like to try to build a case that is just like, what are they trying to say? Like you're an unfit parent, or you're out there having all kinds of salacious affairs or whatever. Somebody's just being bitter. All right, let's move on to the romance department. Um, or this person's very immature. And they also give that Jekyll and Hyde, but not as overt as the other one. I don't know who that was. For Leo, maybe. That's why they like hide. They hide their true selves. They give you the representative as somebody who's like really sweet, unassuming, complacent. But look at that face. Shadow work going on here. I don't even know. Mm-hmm. Self-love in reverse. Middle of the deck is friendly support. Okay, so maybe getting some support from your friends. We got benefit of the doubt. Bottom of the deck, give your relationship a chance. Nah. This person is very wacky. Don't want to give that a second chance. Because there's like they got something to prove, but they're just mean spirited. This self-love here, love yourself first. You may be having a hard time with that because of the situation that you're in, Sagittarius. Or if you're working, this is a case for you, right? You may be seeing like some reflections of a relationship that you've had or you're going through, but definitely take the time also to, pull back, regroup. Don't you try not to get too emotionally involved. Okay. Not doubting yourself, knowing that you're doing the right thing. right, clarify this self-love. I'd like to put it upright because you definitely need to have that. Self-love, self-care. Okay. You have clarifying that self-love because it says love yourself first, right? Putting yourself first. You have the golden mirror. I said a narcissist, a self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship love bombing. This person that you're dealing with is self-absorbed. They're narcissists. They have this one-sided relationship where they think you are the enemy, so they're out to like find all this negative stuff on you. They want to try to take apart your children away from you, or it's weird stuff. Lightning in reverse, sudden change, epiphany, transformation, and then bottom of the deck you got kisses here. Falling in love, giving and receiving affection, loving, nah. Okay, it's interesting here. But if this is what you do for work, just know that the person that you're trying to build a case for, or their spouse, they are a narcissist. Don't doubt it. They are in their own head about shit, and there probably is nothing going on. Now, if this is a relationship that you're in, Sagittarius, this like the other Leo, that's not going to work. You want to again pay attention to these signs. We are skimming over the yield, the yellow sign, for the sake of them showing us smiles, and no, they're not how everybody else is saying. You might have been hearing your friends telling you this, like, no, we see that this person is X, Y, and Z. They're a narcissist, they're a douchebag, and you glossing over that because we're giving people the benefit of the doubt. No. All right, Saj, so that is your message. That's what I have for you. Last of the fire signs is Aries. Aries is a cardinal. So, that's the boss, getting things done, getting, leadership, taking the initiative, right? And Aries is the baby of the zodiac, the new beginning. Pisces being the old soul, the old timer of the zodiac, and the ending of the zodiac. All right, so let's get Aries. What do you need to know, Aries? Sun, moon, rising, and Venus for Taurus season. Okay, what do you guys need to know? And Aries is ruled by Mars, so there's that passion there. There's also combativeness, god of war, arguments, but also a good time. Just like there's negative, there's positive. And they're fun people, like I said, like to have a good time. But yeah, just watch them too. All right, so Aries, what do we have for you guys? Maybe that's too much. So Mercury retrograde. They were coming up, so Mercury retrograde next week or so. So communication, traveling may be an issue. All right, intuition. We end off with the flags. We end off with it. The red flags you ignore now will come back to bite you later. We end off with the flags. I don't need to laugh, but seriously. Date night, middle of the deck, get ready to be wined and dined. Bottom of the deck is that retrograde. Okay, electronic issues, communication issues, review everything. This person. Review everything. Okay. They could be lying. I don't know what is going on. The Scorpio full moon is definitely going to be showing us people's dark side, okay? Because Scorpio shows that side, that inhibition. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to be shown some things because some of us need to be snapped up out of the rose-colored glasses and really see people for who they are. Okay. So, what is this intuition? Clarify this intuition for me. This could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Anytime we hear intuition, or it could be air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. All right, what is this intuition? Okay, I saw the Death card there. So that's Scorpio energy. All right, so you got the King of Pentacles clarifying this intuition, Earth sign, Taurus. Middle of the deck is the Nine of Swords. Air energy. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups, water energy. Okay, so there's that 9 and 9 there. There are these endings. The King of Pentacles is someone who's very mature, very disciplined, very down to earth, grounded, mature, like I said, patriarch, good with money, good, leadership, boss, Capricorn energy there. They may be a little prudish. They could be a little boring, but that's because they're seasoned. They've been through some experiences, and they're not gonna just leap up like the fire. They're not gonna shake and move like that, like fire energy, like Aries. So using this time, Aries, to hone in on your intuition, but it's like the gut instincts that get you grounded, not so much like the third eye, the pineal. It's the gut instinct where you like feel it in your stomach, like, oh, right. um you know Tapping into your feelings, your emotions, whether you're feeling depressed, sad, or happy and content. It's discerning your feelings, right? As opposed to being impulsive with the fire energy. Okay. Let's clarify a little bit with that King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Aries, like I said, you could be dealing with the earth sign. They might be like a lone wolf, a loner. But this person has a lot of wisdom. They've been through a lot of things, and they may not. You may feel like, oh, this is a Mercury retrograde, where like they're not saying, or communication's off. It's just that they don't have a lot to say. Like when they speak, it's coming from a place of knowledge. It's coming from a place of thoughtfulness. Like they're not just going to speak out just to say whatever the hell they want to say. Like they're going to be saying thought-provoking things to you, Aries. What is clarify this? Eight of Swords. Okay, middle of the deck is the Six of Swords. So moving away from, chaos. And so I'm saying, like, your impulsiveness, it's pulling back, getting grounded. Bottom of the deck, the Nine of Swords here. So this is that wounded soldier, rather. You've been through some things, Aries. This is you, fire sign. So, yeah, this is, knowing better, like not being caught up in your emotions, really trusting really going into the depth of what's triggering you, what gets you happy, what makes you feel content, what's causing this sadness, What's causing this insomnia, right? Seeing those red flags. This is what I feel about yourself, not so much about, it could be the other person, but I feel like this is about you, Aries, where it's like during this time, not being so, quick off the dome and just really sitting in everything, sitting in all these emotions. And it may feel a little uncomfortable because that's not your, speciality. You guys move, you're fire. So you move rapidly and fiercely. And this Taurus energy is having you to sit here with that. And you're like, I'm not really comfortable, but you got to. These are all part of things of growing up, being mature, knowing how to handle situations, right? Let's see what's going on in the love department. Let's move on to the love department. All right, so we got finances and career in reverse. Okay, bottom of the deck is this could be the one in reverse. And to the middle of the deck, sorry. Bottom of the deck is signs and clues. The universe is talking to you, right? So paying attention. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Not possible, you know. And as long as you have this, as long as you're grounding yourself, right? The Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and using that maturity, that wherewithal, you're going to be good, you know, uh, in your career as well. Like you have to be methodical, Aries, during this time instead of the usual way that you usually do it. It's being methodical. It's thinking things through before leaping and taking this step. Because yeah, it can affect your relationship if you're just like squandering out that money, being impulsive. It could definitely affect your money with your partner. Okay, we got the runner here. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy. Middle of the deck is the Grim Reaper. The relationship is over, no second chances. Grow and transform your life. And bottom of the deck is the Butterfly. Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. This is very much so you. I really, if you are dealing with someone, Aries, okay, like they may be having these issues, but I really feel like this is you. Like you really need to, like Michael Jackson said, face the man in the mirror. This is the only sign that is dealing with themselves, really. I mean, yeah, you could be dealing with somebody, right? But I feel like this is the relationship with yourself and not running every time there's a stressful situation that arises. It's sitting with that, sitting with all those emotions, maybe journaling, doing meditation, but definitely just sitting with all that. And how do you process it? Whereas, like you're running, you could be fear of intimacy. So money could be the boundary between you and somebody else. You rather give them this than materialistically than give them a piece of you. Okay, another thing you got to sit with. So, and listening and not being off on ego. All right, Aries, that's what I have for you guys. Let's go and get the wisdom oracle for the fire signs. Okay. All right, so let's get the wisdom oracle for the fire signs. All right, we got blessed. I like that, especially after what Aries is going through there. At 22, master number 22. Again, building. All right, building ourselves up, taking the time to build ourselves. You got by the book, number 11, another master number. And bottom of the deck, so middle of the deck is by the book. and new life. Bottom of the deck, new life. So taking that time to sit, know that you're blessed. Specifically Aries, like I said, doing that, meditation, taking the time for yourself, and just sitting there with it and moving with it. Aries, Leo, we're, this intimacy, like knowing that you shouldn't be abused, used, and that you have a purpose, and it's not to be a personal ATM, it's not to be a personal sex toy. Like, you are a person, you have feelings, you come with a lot of things. Just know that. Keep that as your mantra. I am blessed. All you fire signs, keep that as a mantra. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. You were built differently. You could withstand certain things that others can't. You've been through some things that others haven't been through. And using that to navigate through life is going to be helpful during this Taurus season. All right. Okay, that is your message. Fire signs. All right, that is all of the signs there. Okay. So we have the outro. Let me check the comments, because I know I was just flying through here. Gasman's in the building. Salute, salute. Hi there. Okay. All right, so that is it for all the signs in Taurus. Go back and read, your moon sign, your rising, your Venus, to make it all make sense. But really, this theme for this reading was relationships, really, except for the exception of Sagittarius maybe, and Aries for sure. They need to concentrate on themselves. But it's good. It's a good thing. We need to do that inner work, and do our healing, and we're ever evolving. Like, if you're staying stagnant and standard and stuck, you're not evolving. You're not getting up to your higher potentials, your spiritual higher self, and evolving that way. And sometimes people are brought to us for a reason, for the season or for the lifetime, but they're lessons in everything. Even if you've been married for 30 some odd years, 25 years, there's always a lesson in that, right? So yeah, this taking this moment to just relish in the Taurus energy and love, because Taurus has a big heart as well. So if you weren't so lovey dovey, Taurus is going to bring that up in you, but it's also going to ground you. So you might not be all up in the air about the lovey-dovey feeling, but you'll definitely have a balance there. Okay. All right. Also, lastly, for readings, yes, I'm still doing personal readings. However, my website is no longer active. I had to scrap it, and I'm going to have to start from scratch. When? I don't know. If you're interested in getting a reading and you have Instagram, you can reach me at FoxyMoon_premieres. Okay, that's FoxyMoon_premieres. Send me a message. Give me 2 business days to get back to you, because I don't really check that side often. And I do readings for now and still, until further notice, Thursdays and Fridays from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., depending on how long. The readings are an hour time, and they are video. So we'll be, face to face with each other, so you guys can see, the cards, you understand what I'm talking about. And we will talk arrangements there. I don't charge that much. It's like $40. And we could talk about, where to send it, where the payments can be sent. Um, and I think that's about it. Yes. So Foxy Moon _ Spiritual Alchemist. Again, the days that I do the readings are Thursdays and Fridays only for right now. Check the post community section on my YouTube and on my Instagram for when I do make any changes or updates to whatever's going on with the channel, or if there is a calendar, if there's a website. But for right now, there's no website, and so it's a little hard for those that don't have Instagram, because that's the only place I'm operating out of. I don't have TikTok. I don't operate with Facebook. It's just YouTube and Instagram. If you are interested in, you want to send me a message through YouTube, you could leave it at the comments on this live. You could leave it in the comment section. But again, I really don't have any other apps that I do the readings out of, so I'm sorry. All right, guys. So with all that being said, I thank you very much again for the new subscribers. I thank you so much. For those who have been here, you guys know I appreciate you all, and I will catch you all on the flip side.